What's up, everyone? Welcome to the console corner, where apparently we like to say fuck a lot. Man, oh man, we just got a few days away from E3. I totally love this time of year. It's great for gaming. We have a great show for you this week. We'll be talking about Halo Wars 2, DeadRising 4, and possible Chrono Trigger sequel. Make sure you all ask your questions in the chat. We'll be picking a few to answer at the end of the show. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce our panel of gamers this week. Starting off with the man who likes them Witcher 3 titties. On his mind, Mr. Brutal.
What's up, console corner? What's up, everybody watching? You know I like them Witcher titties, though.
Well, actually, technically, aren't they vampire titties?
Yeah, I guess they are vampire titties. I'm down with vampire titties too. So don't discriminate. Yeah, don't discriminate. Thank you. This is 2016.
Nice. Alright, next up we have a female gamer who broke a lot of hearts as she shot him in the face, Miss Lady Foxfire.
Yay, what's up, everybody?
Next up, a gamer who single-handedly is going to take over the gaming journalism and fix what's wrong with it, Mr. Bearclaw Gaming.
Oof, big responsibility. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate that.
Nice. Next gamer on the panel, he's part of the Shop Podcast and another great YouTuber, Mr. AsthMattic.
What's going on, guys? Thanks again for having me on the show, as always. A pleasure to be here. Happy to not be at school today, so I can get to hang out with you guys and talk some E3 hype.
Yeah, buddy. Alright, next up we have another female gamer who likes to call crap the most compelling motherfucker, SheWolf.
That's what you changed it to?
Got her.
No, it was something else, but it's okay.
Yeah, we had to change that.
Yeah, anyways. So we're here, let's talk games.
Cool. And I'm your host, the Professor GKB, or as people say in the chat, the governor now. Let's go ahead. School's in session.
Like the governor from like The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I was like, what? I guess I'm going to go murder a bunch of people or something.
I guess I better start looking for the heads in the tanks. Got a secret room I don't know about?
Let's not talk about this right now. Alright guys, before we go ahead and get into the games we played this week, I want to thank everyone who came out to the community game time. We had a blast. It was a ton of fun. For anybody, a couple of us here on the panel were actually there. How'd you guys all enjoy it? Did you guys have a good time jamming out with the community and everything?
Hell yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, dude, I had a fucking blast, man. That was like, if not the best, like definitely top 5 gaming sessions, like fucking ever. I love that. It was so much fun, man. I can't wait for the Saturday.
So much.
Yeah, I'd laughed so hard, man. I could not believe how much we were laughing. It was just a great time.
Yeah, if you guys haven't, anyone listening, if you haven't gone and watched the, what's that?
No, go ahead, bro. I was listening.
You had cut out.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh boy.
Anyways,
apparently,
go check out the video that is posted on Gamers Knows Best channel of one game. It's not all of them, because trust me, some of that chat you can just not repeat, people. You really can.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah, you definitely had to be there.
What stays on community? What happens at community game time stays there. Like,
well,
yeah,
sometimes.
16 people.
Yeah,
16 people party chat. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like full the whole time. Like the game was full, the chat was full. It was fantastic, man. Great time.
It was definitely a very interesting night and a lot of fun. And thank you to everyone who came out and enjoyed and gamed out with us. You really made it a great night.
Yeah, man. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and go on to what we've been playing this week. Let's go ahead and start with Bear. What you been playing, man? Been able to game some?
Yeah, lots of the Blood and Wine expansion for Witcher 3. Just wrapped that up. Spent a lot of time with that last week. And then a lot of Overwatch still. Really enjoying both of those.
Nice. What about you, SheWolf? What you been playing?
Blood and Wine from Witcher 3. It's a pretty awesome game. A couple of indies, just kind of getting those gamer scores. Halo for, doing the community stuff, and just playing that Titanfall again, getting back into that awesome feel and getting prepared for the next one coming.
Nice. What about you, Fox? Are you gonna arguing in the chat there? I see.
Crap is messing with me. What's up, Crap?
Because it was recorded. You actually catch Crap Gamer telling Fox to get back in the kitchen.
I did say something back, but I didn't hear it in the freaking video.
I remember.
No, I don't think you did.
So yeah, what I've been playing. Okay, so obviously Halo. What else did I play? Titanfall, here and there with different people. Sonic on the 360, I played like 2 or 3 different Sonics. And Tron, which I told you guys before that I had tried it on trial or something, and I bought it today. It's on sale, so yeah, that game is fun.
Is it fun? That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Ooh, I wanted to buy that game. Now I may have to if it's on sale.
Yeah, it's
Is it the?
it's
is
only
it the
$6.
new, like, is it like the Endless Runner one? Is
Yeah.
that what it is? Okay, cool.
Yep, I like it.
Cool. Awesome. What about you, AsthMattic? What you been playing, bro?
I've still been on a lot of that Overwatch. My girlfriend had been in school, and so she hadn't had an opportunity to play it, but she did this last week, and so she was really getting a handle on what heroes she likes. So it's been a ton of fun to get to finally share that game with her. We played some Halo on the AsthMattic game night last Thursday. That was a ton of fun, as always. That Hog Wild expansion is awesome, and I'm really excited to see what else they got coming up for us in June. I'm sorry if I sound like a traitor, but I was actually playing a lot of Subnautica on my PC, because that's in Xbox Game Preview right now, but it's a little rickety over there. They're having some frame rate issues, but the hour that I got with it, I'm like, dude, I remember this game. I love this game. So I went back and played a couple hours of that on PC, and it's a great game, and I'm really excited to see Unknown Worlds really perfect that on Xbox One as well.
Nice. That sounds awesome, man. For me, I've been playing, let's see, we played a lot of Halo. Playing through Wolfenstein. I was playing through The Witcher, Blood and Wine. But then I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and I want to play through the whole game again. So I started that again. So, yeah, that's what I'm playing this week. All right, let's go ahead and move on to, we got some, I guess, hard dates for a couple of games. I'm going to go ahead and let SheWolf go ahead and take care of that real quick.
Awesome. All right, guys. So, as everyone had heard previously, Forza Horizon Zero Dawn was actually confirmed to be released this year. However, it is not. It is being pushed back to February 28th, 2017. Will now be the release date for Zero Dawn. And there's also a collector's edition you can look forward to. So check that out if you are a PlayStation 4 gamer. I almost said PC.
Sorry.
Didn't mean to. You kind of, yeah.
AsthMattic got you on that one.
Yeah. Also, there was a game that was supposed to come from the Wii and come to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Yooka-Laylee. But the game has been delayed now for next year, the first quarter of 2017, so keep an eye out for that. It is a cute little cartoon kind of game, fun for kids. Who knows, maybe fun for adults.
I'm definitely probably going to pick that up. That actually looks pretty good. So, but yeah, I guess Brutal's still having technical difficulties there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Hey, it ain't a podcast without Google Hangouts having some issues. So
That's how you know you're not dreaming.
yeah, right. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the first topic here. So there was some rumors today that possibly Wolfenstein 2 and The Evil Within might be announced at Bethesda show. I want to go around and see what everybody thought. Is this gonna happen? What do you guys think? We'll go ahead and start with Fox on that one.
Oh god, I was saying not me.
Not me.
No, when it comes to Wolfenstein, I was actually just thinking, wow, isn't it kind of soon? Because I know they released a game on 2014 and another one in 2015, but then I thought about it, I'm like, well, maybe that's their new pattern, maybe they come out with a new game really soon, and it won't bother anybody because, everybody likes that game, and they have their own, core fans that probably be interested in it. As for the Evil Within, I'm not really sure, I don't know that much about it. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that one though.
That's okay, no worries. For me, I really didn't mind the announcement at all. I think the timing is probably right. We definitely could be seeing them working on the sequels. Wolfenstein and Evil Within, they're both great games. Both had a great story. The graphics were top notch. I think the gameplay was on point too. I can tell you this: like, if they do announce these 2 games, I think Bethesda's going to have a really good show with other stuff that we think they might be showing.
Oh yeah.
So they could be, I don't even know how anybody else is going to top like what they're going to be doing as far as like game wise. Anybody else?
For Bethesda?
Yeah.
I think Wolfenstein sounds great. Machine Games has a tendency to make, or at least that they seem like they've got a pretty good grasp on how the franchise should work. And after playing, Doom earlier, well, I guess last month now, it just feels really, really good to play some retro games that have been brought in forward again. So, and the story both in Old Blood and the New Order were really good. So I'm stoked to get back into more of that Wolfenstein. But Evil Within was also a pretty decent game. I'm not huge on the survival horror. I just I don't know. It didn't do a lot for me. But it's cool because I know that's a big genre for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy like the survival horror stuff, man. That's like me all day long. What about you, SheWolf?
I actually really enjoyed Evil Within, so seeing a second one, I would actually like to see how they're gonna do it. After watching the end, I didn't really think there really could be a second, but I guess if they go from someone else's point of view on how it actually, say, first originated or something, I guess they, like, it all depends really how they're gonna play this game out. But it definitely would be interesting to see, and I would actually love to actually try the game out. So, Wolfenstein, haven't actually really played the game, so don't have much to say on that one.
Cool. What about
I
you,
agree
Asmat?
with you though.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think that if they have all these games that are gonna come out, they'll have a lot to show, and I think a lot of people are excited.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's gonna be a great show if all this comes to fruition for sure. What about you, AsthMattic? You play any of these games, man? You hype for them?
Wolfenstein, I haven't really played that many of their newer titles. I think Wolfenstein 3D was probably the first video game I ever played, so I don't care whatever happens, I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for that franchise. But when I see like Evil Within 2 coming right here, like, horror games have really seen a lot of resurgence in the last couple years on PC, with VR being, coming back in such full force and being brought into people's living rooms. And to see like Evil Within 2 now coming to consoles again, which for me sounds kind of quick after the first one, and then paired with other rumors that we're going to be seeing more VR stuff coming to console, like, what specifically are we going to be seeing coming to Xbox, and whether or not we're going to be getting that news here in E3 next week. Seeing horror game and wondering what's going on with VR, because those two things are so tightly bound. I think there's hopefully some fun stuff going on behind the curtain right there, and I'm excited to see that curtain lifted.
Nice. All right, guys. I'm gonna go and move on. That was awesome. Next topic I wanted to talk about is Frostbite engine and possibly EA using it for all their sports titles, and to be honest, probably all their games pretty much going forward at this point. I mean, it's a great engine. I want to see what AsthMattic had to say on this one first.
Yeah, awesome, and I'm super excited about this one to see like the one engine being deployed everywhere, because what that means is that they don't have to dedicate more manpower to developing. Oh, you work on this and you work on that. Then they can take all of their games and whatever manpower they were planning on putting into developing an engine for game X and game Y. All of that can go into one pool now, and they're going to get way more resources dedicated to making the Frostbite engine even better, which is a big statement because it's already fantastic. And that just makes me, again, excited for the future to see how this great game engine is only going to get better, and how not only will the engine benefit from more resources being poured into it, but from how other game series will be able to be made better by nature of the fact that they get to take advantage of that awesome game engine.
Can I piggyback off that?
Sure.
Yeah, I have similar feelings where, like, I think it's great to see Frostbite be adopted by more EA developers. Because the more they use it, the more familiar everyone will become with the engine. The only thing that I think that the Frostbite engine really needs, particularly on Xbox One, but also on PS4, is further optimization. I think we've yet to see and correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the chat or through here, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen a 1080p Frostbite game on Xbox One. They've yet to kind of maximize their engine, and like that's not necessarily, resolution doesn't mean graphics. They can be different things, but I just mean that Battlefront looks great, but if we can get the resolution, if we can get a rock solid 60 without some drops, that'd be great. But I think with more people using it, that means more manpower, optimizing the engine. So I think it's great. I just hope that means that we get better performance.
Right. Hey, Brutal, you okay? You there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys hear me all right now?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
It's the beauties of live.
Yeah, when we talk about game engines, there's two that always comes up. It's always like Unreal and Frostbite, man. Like, they're the two big topics. I mean, it was CryEngine too, but they're kind of, I don't know, these days. So, yeah, like, I don't know, like, they're held in high regard. Like, it's a good engine. I think it makes a lot of games look really good, but like what Bear said too, like the engine's just not optimized like right now for the consoles. It uses a lot of resources. I think it's cool that EA is going to adopt it for everything. It kind of gives that unification across all their devs and stuff like that.
Probably saves them money too.
Yeah, for sure.
That, but that's probably true.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think once they get all the kinks worked out and the optimization done, I think it will definitely be maybe this gen's or last gen's Unreal, it's definitely a beast of an engine. So anybody else?
Is that the same engine they use for Star Wars Battlefront?
Yep.
Because if it is, then I don't really have a problem with it. It looks nice. I when I play Battlefield and stuff, it runs well. So I understand some people are disappointed because sometimes it's lower resolution or whatever, but I don't mind. I'm okay with that. If they use it for all their games and stuff, it just makes sense because that's EA stuff.
I don't know if this has been mentioned or not in this conversation because I was just able to get back in, but I mean they're running Frostbite on some the biggest titles coming out. Like I'm sure you guys already mentioned Battlefield 1, and they're running it on Andromeda too. So
yeah.
So
FIFA, right? Also.
And FIFA.
Yeah, they're bringing it on
that's a big
FIFA.
one for them.
And I think they're running it on the new PGA game as well. I don't know if you guys mentioned that it's going to be on, possibly going to be on all the EA Sports games. So.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and I wonder if it will be a noticeable difference. I don't know if we're going to see a leap in I know that the engine does a pretty good job animating faces, and I'm curious to see if we'll see a leap in believability, for example, in the FIFA realm. I don't know. That'll be interesting. I think Madden's been needing it too.
I was thinking the same thing, thinking about with Frostbite coming to the sports genre as a whole. I think we may see a small jump in actual the rendering of you said the characters' faces and the believability of the model which they're trying to portray. But I think that we're going to see a bigger increase in background detail, as far as for example for the NBA, you're going to see a more detailed crowd, a more detailed environment rather than just the player itself. I mean, because they're running Frostbite 3 on Battlefield 4 when they started introducing the whole evolution aspect. So I think that's one of the Frostbite's strong points is being able to fuel that environment, not just rendering characters themselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting too, because we talk about they definitely need optimization on the consoles and stuff like that, but with these new consoles possibly coming out here in the near future with more power, it's gonna be interesting to see how far they could push games with this kind of an engine, and Unreal Engine 4 for that matter, honestly, with the extra power.
I'm excited to see more Unreal Engine 4, man. We were talking about Injustice 2 coming out, and NetherRealm's still going to be using the Unreal Engine 3 for that, so I'm not really sure what the holdup is with that, man. They've been running on Unreal 3 for a while.
It's probably just ease of use for them at this point. They probably can get games out faster. Maybe a cost thing too, man. They've already licensed Unreal Engine 3, so.
Well, and I don't know if it's universal, but one of the things, as you guys all know, I'm a big Gears fan, and one of the things they talked about I'm glad Zazz isn't here to make a smart-ass remark.
Preach.
But one of the things that Rod Ferguson has talked about was that when they made the jump from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4, they lost the ability to port over a lot of code. And so if they've got all sorts of mechanics like physics, things like that, I think that the time it would take to recode would probably be a significant setback, and obviously that means money lost, etc. So I think it's honestly, like, just from an affordability and ease of access point, they probably choose to stick with that, the Unreal Engine 3, which is easier for them, worse for consumers, but, that's how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, like, some of those game engines probably haven't even reached their potential yet either. I mean, you see games come out on those old engines still looking better than they did before, so... Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. That was awesome. So next up, we got the Ready at Dawn developers, had their new teaser for their new IP. I want to go around, see what everybody thought of the new IP and what they're showing and all that stuff. And I want to go ahead and start with Bear on this one.
Sure. I think you and I actually talked about this a little bit last week
on Twitter.
So, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a big step back from."
Well, that was definitely my stance for sure.
Yeah, no. But people think it's a big step back from the Order, and yes and no, right? Like, the Order is obviously a thing where, of course, gorgeous game, first thing, but they seem like they bit off more than they could chew. They couldn't make an interesting story. They couldn't make an interesting gameplay, so they just have graphics going for them. But, like, honestly, I think that the video, like, if you ignore their previous work and just watch the trailer for their new game, whatever, Deformers, I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a pretty decent couch co-op game that I would play when I have a party, right? Like, It seems like a thing where you'd have friends over, you have drinks, you have food, and you just goof around in that game. Like, that seems fun. Again, yeah, some people might be disappointed that they're stepping away from this AAA style, but remember, they've gone independent since leaving Sony, and that means less money to ask for, and that probably just results in these lower budget games.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm like super fucking excited to play this new game on my iPhone while I'm taking a shit on the toilet, because I think that's the extent of this game's like possibilities. Like, not to undermine what Bear said, it's just like, I think like what he said, like he acknowledged like the art direction that the Order had, and why fall back? Like, if you didn't absolutely succeed the first time, why not take the time, figure out what you did wrong, and put out a more badass AAA title than like Super Monkey Ball 3? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of what my point was. Like, to be honest, when I first saw the teaser, I was taken back. I was really expecting something on the scale of Order. I don't know. Man, I'm just kind of like at a loss for this one.
breathe, JKB. I got this, bro.
I'm trying to like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to like bring it out without sounding like I'm just downing the new game and all that kind of stuff, because I'm really not. Like, I think the game looks cool. I think it looks fun. Like, it's gonna be like one of those party games that if you have a bunch of friends that have it, which kind of is yes or no. Like, is a bunch of your friends really gonna play that game, or is this more of a kids game?
It comes off almost like Mario Party
right.
to me.
Right.
And I can agree with you on that side. It might be like a fun game as a group, but
yeah.
I can't get past the fact that they just gave up on like trying to put out something epic. Like, Order could have been epic. Granted, it was like their breakout or whatever, but
yeah, I mean, look, the way I see it is so PopCap, I think we're all familiar with them. PopCap makes the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare games, and they make Peggle. I think that, Garden Warfare isn't quite a AAA game like you would expect from Battlefield or Call of Duty or something of the sort, but it's a pretty high-budget game in comparison to Peggle 2, but that doesn't change the fact that Peggle 2 is still a damn fun game to play. I think that when we talk about, well, why didn't you try to reiterate on this this single player story driven experience? One person that's talked about the expense of single player games, Cliff Blazinski, who used to make Gears, is now making Lawbreakers. He said one of the reasons they're staying away from a campaign with Lawbreakers is because they spent 75% of the Gears of War through 1 through 3 budget was on single player. So that should tell you how much it costs to develop these really, really high budget single player games. And again, when Ready at Dawn can't leech off of Sony for money, they no longer have that option of, can we do a 3-year life cycle? They've got to do quick turnaround to keep cash coming into the company.
Yeah, that's
Sorry for ranting on it. I just
No, I think Fox is about to say something. Go ahead, Fox.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's like I don't look at it as it is this company that made the order, or I believe something to do with God of War, and I see it as just a fun game, like friendly game. I know that they were saying, like, quoted as saying like, you won't expect this game from us or something like that, or something like we'll be surprised when they show us this. And when I saw it, it just looks like a fun game. I wasn't thinking about who developed it. It just looks like something like a friendly Twisted Metal, Mario, Rocket League, fun type of game. So, I mean,
Right.
for me, it looks fun.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would be obviously considered a AAA or a store release. I understand maybe it could be like an arcade or something.
Right.
Play in between games.
It's gonna be at like Dave and Buster's for like 5 tickets, and you can play it. That's what that's where it's gonna end up.
For me,
Right,
it's
like-
like if you take a baseball analogy, right? You start in the minors, you make these small games, you get yourself known, then you move up to the majors and you make these AAA titles, and your first one out there maybe didn't do so good. It wasn't a bad story. It wasn't, I think it was a shell of a game. It didn't offer you a whole lot. But, like, why, I don't know, like, I guess, yeah, there's a point for, like, the cost or whatever like that. But I still think, like, me personally, I'd be like, hell no, people didn't like it. I'm going to make an even better game next time. I'm going to prove you all wrong. But instead, they kind of took a step backwards and was like, you know what, I'm going to go back to the minors. I just can't do it. I can't handle it. And to me, as like a consumer, I don't have like confidence in that. Like, I don't know, man. That's just how I felt about it. I was really taken back on that whole game.
What if they are actually working on like a big AAA game, and this is just the in-between game? They're just trying to make a little bit of money on the side, kind of thing, while they're producing this other main game.
Yeah.
There's always that
Yep.
chance that it is just a filler game. Though, when I saw it, I was actually a little excited because it is, that kind of cutesy jump around. They're like blobs that can like transform and stuff. But then I found out the party size, and that I was truly really disappointed in, because like, say if you did want to have it like with friends and just have like a huge game night and all this kind of stuff with it, you can't do that with this game. This game is only an 8-player game. It's 4 versus 4, or it's 1 versus 7. That's it, and that's pretty disappointing when it comes to a game like this.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Look, I think that everything, especially with games like this, it comes down to like how they want to market it and price it, right? Like, do I want to pay $60 for Ready at Dawn's follow-up game? Absolutely not. But if this is $15 or $20, I have no problem with it. And again, I totally hear what you're saying when you talk about minors to majors in baseball, but another game in a similar vein, Three Fields Entertainment last week just launched Dangerous Golf, which is a relatively, it's an okay game. And they were the people who used to make the Burnout games. So if you look at them as the ex-devs of Burnout, now make a very, very small $20 indie title where you smash a golf ball around, tiny environments, then you can consider that a step down. I mean, it's really, really hard to say that their skill isn't there. Again, I think a lot of development just comes down to the amount of money a team might have.
Yeah. I mean, it could be reflective of like them being a breakout. Maybe they don't want to. I mean, in that sense, like maybe they don't want to devote all their money to making their next game. Maybe they're hurt. I don't know. Like, I just can't figure out why they would give up. I mean, the order wasn't bad. I mean, it didn't get absolutely horrible reviews. I guess like the fighter in me wants them to just like bounce back and be like, I want and come back with like a vengeance and be like, all right, we're gonna like mind fuck all of you. Like, check this one out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like now like Ready at Dawn's like a top dev. I mean.
Yeah, it's also worth remembering that before, if you want to talk about their pedigree, before they did Order 1886, they were making PSP games, PSP God of War games, which actually weren't that bad. But again, they're PSP games. Like, they definitely weren't in the big leagues. It was kind of like Sony wrote them a fat check for a good idea. They ultimately couldn't deliver, and then Sony cut them loose, and now they have no money, and they're publishing, on multi-plat. Look, it's really hard to speculate off of one trailer.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what comes forward. It looks cute as hell. That's my initial impression, and I don't have much more to say than that.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to be the little blob, the little blue one in the picture. He's got like these funky little eyes. He's just so funny.
What about AsthMattic? You got anything to say on this one?
Not really. I think you guys have really put the nail in the coffin on that one. I wasn't really
crushed it.
Yeah. Like, I'm just kind of over here, like, watching chat. I'm like, yeah, these guys got this topic.
You know, like, pick up a dead corpse and just punch it one more time, so we can just like we can make it even.
I was there.
All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one then, since we killed that one. So Watch Dogs 2 is definitely a thing. And a Let's Player, posted an image of some swag that we don't really know if he was supposed to do that, but shortly after that, Ubisoft came out and kind of confirmed it as well. I think they probably almost had to at that point. There's also been a teaser that was released. I want to go around and just see what everyone thought of this one. I'm going to go ahead and start with Fox. What do you think of the trailer? What do you think of Watch Dogs 2?
I was just going to say that I thought the teaser actually was going to be released tomorrow. I didn't see the teaser, actually.
Oh, really?
I also
it's pretty
I gotta
basic.
Go check it out.
Yeah, you're not
literally just like a guy with his phone, like pushing buttons on the screen, and it's like there's like code flying across the screen.
I did see that they confirmed the San Francisco location.
That's cool.
Yeah, but what I am curious about is, and I think I talked about this last week on Four Guys with Quarters. I am interested to see if this will bring back what was his name? Aiden Pierce. I'm interested to see if they bring back Aiden Pierce, or if they go in a new direction and they pick a younger, spunkier protagonist. I've said this before, like, I think that Watch Dogs was an okay game, but I think that their protagonist was always so grim that, like, it made elements of the game feel kind of, like, I don't know, it was just, like, a very dark tone for a game, and I think, like, I don't know. I'm interested to see if they try to revamp the game with a different protagonist.
Well, we pretty much have to wait till like tomorrow. Tomorrow's the world premiere, so we'll actually be able to find out more of what it is instead of just a quick little teaser. Yeah. But when it comes to teasers, I have to give that one to Titanfall 2, because they showed a teaser and they like gave you like exactly what you wanted to see. Where this, it didn't actually give you any actual reason to be pulled in, to be excited for the world release tomorrow, which I believe is disappointing.
Yeah, that's the point I was gonna make too. SheWolf is like, that was like the worst teaser. Like, it didn't get me hyped for anything. Like, I was just like, if this is the game, like, yeah, I don't even want to play it at this point. Like, I didn't play the first one, to be fair, so I don't want to go ahead and speak on that one. But yeah, I don't know. Would anybody else like the teaser?
Well, I actually.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, man. You're good.
Oh, well, that I actually didn't hear that before, and about the thing where someone apparently like posted pictures of swag that was like confirming Watch Dogs 2. So if in that case they were sort of like forced into announcing the teaser, which makes sense as to why then it's pretty basic. Like, it's kind of just like, oh, like anyone who's played Watch Dogs 1 or has seen like anything from that world is like, I know the branding well enough to know that this is clearly another Watch Dogs title, and that's really all you have in that teaser. And as far as my hype goes, I'm really just sort of being, what's the word, cautiously optimistic right now. 2 words, I guess. Right. Just because, like, I want to see what they're going to have for us tomorrow, because I really love the first game. But really my points on it are, if they can excel in the multiplayer world, because the multiplayer Watch Dogs 1 was a cool proof of concept, but it was a love it or hate it kind of thing. So if you were one of the hate it, then you played the campaign and you sold the game back, and that was it. There wasn't a lot of replayability in the campaign, so if we can get more of that replayability and engage a wider audience with the multiplayer in Watch Dogs 2, then that game really has an opportunity to excel. Because I think they built a good universe in the first game. I really liked, what they did with Aiden Pierce. I feel like it would make sense to have a new protagonist, but definitely sort of have Aiden be that, like, guy on the poster, of that, like, oh, the dude, you remember what that crazy guy did in Chicago and all that stuff? Like, he definitely needs to be part of the universe, but I like the idea of a younger protagonist, which if there's anything we can pull from the teaser, that's at least what it looks like.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a younger.
My only thing about it though is I just don't get why Ubisoft just decided not to say anything. They have EA right around the corner. They have a show, so I don't understand why they decided to do the world premiere tomorrow when they could have just said nothing to the leaks. They could have just let it go, let people forget about it, and then thrown it out at E3 and do the world premiere there. It would have made more sense, because now it makes you wonder exactly what all are they bringing to their show.
I don't know if they could have threw it out. I mean, the picture he posted was pretty dead clear, hey, it's Watch Dogs 2. It's some Ray-Bans and stuff with the case. Also, I don't know.
Also, as far as marketing goes, they typically don't see a leak, especially at a big company. They don't see a leak and they're like, well, I guess we're going to throw together a live stream. For all we know, especially, I think Bethesda sets the gold standard, right, where, right before E3, they're like, hey, we're making Fallout 4, and here's a trailer for it. And a live stream is a little bit different, but basically, if you introduce people to the game before E3, you can actually show a more in-depth demo because you've already laid the foundation through a live stream before the show, where you don't need to explain, hey, this is what we learned from the first game and all the things that they're going to change. I don't think live streams for multi-million-dollar companies are kind of haphazardly thrown together. I'm sure they were pretty pissed that the leak happened, but I think that they probably had the intention of showing the game, a little bit, because a lot of people EA has their FIFA 17 stream this week too. I don't know.
Bear, I think you. Oh, go ahead, Fox.
No, okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Bear hit the nail on the head with that. Initially when I first saw when he posted those pictures of all the swag that he got, I was like, oh, dude, you're fucked. But now I started rethinking. I was like, maybe with the way that the industry is now, and the way that people are just digging and tearing to try to get into some kind of, to be the first person to get that leak. So maybe, this might sound crazy, but what if Ubi was just yo, post this picture up and get some chatter started, then we'll post this little teaser, and like Bear said, we'll segue into E3 with momentum already. People are already hungry to see it. So now that I'm thinking about it more, I think that could be I think that could be the actual situation that Ubi's found themselves in now. Maybe they're attacking it differently. You need to market differently now, because leaks are leaks, but once you confirm it and you see that actual merch that he posted a picture of, it's real. There's no debate on whether or not, is this leak real or not. And then
I'm not saying that though. I'm just saying you have you have E3 right around the corner. Why wouldn't you save your premiere for there? Okay, yes, they did the teaser. They could have left it with the teaser then.
Okay, I can.
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't always keep up with Ubisoft stuff, but now they didn't really confirm that they're showing any gameplay for Watch Dogs 2 tomorrow. Are they? For example, when Battlefield 1 premiered, they streamed all day long, and they kind of talked about ideas they brought into the new game, but they didn't show anything until they showed a trailer at the end. So we don't really know. For all we know, it could be the developers playing Watch Dogs 1 and talking about, hey, here are some things we learned, here's what we're taking over, and just kind of set this backdrop. For all we know, I kind of don't expect to see new gameplay tomorrow. And I think that if they were going to show a new gameplay, they'd probably market it as a premiere, and less of just hey, come hang out with us while we chat about the new game. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing for me is if tomorrow's premiere is anything like this teaser, I probably won't be getting this game, man. They need to show me something to get excited about.
Dude, that teaser was I caught somebody texting in class or something.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
To me, that was the whole Watch Dogs. That was the whole Watch Dogs to me in general. To be honest, I didn't play Watch Dogs very much because I lost interest in it. I felt it was very, I don't know.
Well, that goes back to what AsthMattic was saying too, man.
Vanilla to me.
That's what AsthMattic was saying before. It's when you started playing it, you either liked it or you didn't. It was kind of one of those kind of games.
And that
Well,
was like with me, I did like it. Like I played through the whole game, and there were definitely really memorable parts of it, and that's why. But then it was a couple months after that when the multiplayer really lost its flavor, that I was like, all right, like okay, Watch Dogs was fun. I got good memories. I like that game, and now that they're doing a number 2, I'm excited. But like that was kind of the end of it.
Well, and one of the things I talked about last week was that when the original Assassin's Creed came out, it was a pretty okay game. It wasn't bad, but it also it had a lot of great ideas, but the execution was a little bit bland. There was some repetition. The gameplay got kind of stale, and then they turned around and made Assassin's Creed 2, which is arguably the best Assassin's Creed game to date. I think Ubisoft has this track record of coming out with pretty good ideas and then getting some feedback and then implementing them into making a great sequel.
Yeah, and
Ubisoft also has made some stinkers. Right. Ubisoft has made some stinkers also, and they've definitely changed since the era of Assassin's Creed 2. But I just think that there's definitely some room for optimism where they can see the faults of the original and capitalize on the great things about the original game. Yeah, look, I think that they've got nothing but tons of room to improve. I don't know. I'm definitely interested in the game. Yeah.
Well, and I think.
Go ahead, Ast. Oh, I was just gonna ask real quick. Can I ask the panel and anybody listening because I didn't finish it. When you
Spoiler
finished,
alert.
when you finished when you finished Watch Dogs, did it leave you wanting to I really want Watch Dogs 2 to come out? Were you sitting there wanting Watch Dogs 2 to come out, or you're like, if it comes out I might check it out?
Or was it
No.
finished?
No, here's why. Because the whole game did no QuickTime events, and then the final scene, I'm not going to get the details, but the final scene was like, yo, you want to do QuickTime events and the game, and they forced you to do one, and it was the lamest shit. It was like, come on, you did the whole game without any QuickTime events. That's what I like to see. And at the very end, they're like, what if the really cool badass scene, you just pressed XAY and it did it for you? No, man. Again, this franchise has so much potential. I think it's a really great idea. And I think it's, the gameplay was fun. It was fun changing the lights and causing these huge accidents. But they just couldn't quite deliver it in a way where every time you play GTA, you're like, man, I wonder what they're gonna do next. And with Watch Dogs, I just, I don't know. I don't feel I don't know. I don't get the same feeling of excitement for what's coming next.
Yeah, there's a lot of games like this gen that's kind of man, they look so great, and then when they come out, they just had so much potential and just didn't live up to it, man. I don't understand it.
And who makes them?
I'm gonna cut in for a minute here. It's kind of a little off topic, but we just officially hit over 90 people watching.
What?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
And Crap Gamer pointed it out in the chat, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has helped us and who is in watching us every week. A big shout out to Crap, Poison Ivy, Storm, Rolla, HP, Predator, Rand's in the chat. We have a lot of
everybody.
really dedicated supporters, and I just want to give a really big thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
For sure.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and...
Can I throw one more
go
thing
for
in
it,
right there?
go for it.
Because we talked a little bit about why are they doing Watch Dogs 2 as its own event, and then I think that kind of ties into, I think all of that sort of ties in together to say that they aren't blind to the faults that Watch Dogs 1 had, and I feel like they've been doing a lot of work, probably behind the scenes based on this information, that they're coming out with something that I'm hoping that they're going to be really proud of, that they've put a lot of time into, because this franchise and this universe deserves a really awesome sequel. And I think when we say, hey, why does it have its own event? I think it's that this game has a lot to prove, and that, Ubisoft has a much larger hand. We don't know everything that they're bringing to E3, and they could have, 3 different things, 3 reveals that, haven't been leaked, 3 reveals that we know absolutely nothing about. And so that's, could be the stuff that we see on Monday, and then because of that, they're saying, yeah, okay, well, here's Watch Dogs 2, we're going to do that, talk about that the Wednesday before, and there's that, and maybe have some stuff at their booth at E3, but then the big show, the massive Ubisoft press conference on Monday will be whatever, maybe new stuff they have. And yeah, so I think just keep that in mind, that they've got a way larger hand than everything. And, somebody mentioned Splinter Cell in chat, just to see what's coming up with that, because we haven't had any, announcements. Yeah, for that, but I really want to see that, and I know, GKB, there's a lot of other people out there as well who want to see more more Splinter Cell, hopefully more Sam Fisher.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
I want
hey,
to
I was wondering-
More Sam Fisher.
What's up, Fox?
I was wondering if I can mention something about Watch
Sure.
Dogs.
Sure.
You guys
No,
made a lot
you're not
of
allowed.
great... Oh, okay. Sister told me to shut up. No, actually, I just wanted to say, you guys made a lot of great points. I never even thought about Watch Dogs like that much. Obviously, I knew the teaser or the trailer thing is coming out tomorrow, so I was interested in checking it out. Now, more so, I was never really into the first game. I started playing it, and then I lost interest, never finished it. So I am actually really interested in seeing what they got for the second one. And also, I heard something about IGN accidentally posted something, and it had the release date for Watch Dogs on it. And it said November 15.
What?
Interesting.
And then they took it off. So that was like earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm like personally excited to see Ubisoft like maybe launch a game that I can play the first day it launches. That'd be nice.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Predator too because, I was in with a podcast. They said in the chat there with the community managers, and they said like, working with Ubisoft and all that kind of stuff, they're really dedicated to making their games right, and they listen to the fans. So hopefully they'll get it right. Let's see.
But
Alright,
it
guys.
definitely explains a lot why there's no Assassin's Creed this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of other stuff going on.
You know, like characters disappearing in the Division.
Except you took the Assassin's Creed I actually would have played.
Let's go ahead and move on, guys. Yeah. I'm kind of
Segue.
salty about that. So the new preview update has been officially announced and had a cool video with Major Nelson and Mikey Barrow, and some people have already gotten it as of last night. I want to go around and see what everybody thought of the new features that's coming to the preview, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start with SheWolf since she's already got it because Phil's already following her.
Oh.
We
Salty
already
right now.
confirmed. Just because he's following me does not mean
I definitely think
got
that has a
it
hand
because
in
of
it.
him. No, it doesn't.
Oh, it definitely does.
It definitely does.
Actually, it definitely does.
That's how they.
Anyways, speaking of
We'll finish
the
premise
actual,
first.
well, is anyone else on the panel in it?
I don't know. My Xbox has been disconnected all day.
Well, is anybody else followed by Phil Spencer? That answers your
Sure.
question.
Yeah, good
Nope.
question.
Dumb question. Anyways, about the preview program. So, okay, I went on and I had the update last night, and it is awesome. It definitely, I love the look that they gave. Putting games and apps up on the top like that, you don't have to scroll all the way down to the bottom just to go to your
Heck
games
yes.
and apps. That was amazing. Like, that's one of the best parts. And it's not huge. It's just like this nice little thing right up at the top. You also, when you're talking to Cortana or anything like that, besides your battery for your controller, now shows whether you have a headset plugged in or whether you have a Kinect plugged in or whether you have nothing at all, which I think is pretty awesome.
Does
And
it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Does the first wave have the My Games and Apps up at the top already?
Say that again.
Because
Wait, yeah, one more time.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if I cut out. I know that I saw on Major Nelson's thing that they were bumping the My Games and App tab up into up.
Yeah, it's on the top corner. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. Now, does the first wave already have that included?
Yeah, they already
Yeah.
got that. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And, what?
Nothing. I was just wondering if everybody does everybody else think that that's like a worthwhile change? Like I didn't have an issue with it being down below.
I kind
I-
of did. Like, I hated going down. Like, I thought it should just be up on the top. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like scrolling down. I guess I don't know.
Okay, I haven't gotten it.
Kinect
So I'll-
users, I think it's a good change.
I find it makes it a lot easier. I really do. And also, you can see when you're installing a game, it actually shows it in this little box saying,
Installing
what
the
percentage it's at and everything, so you can actually see what's going on with your games on the right at the main part of it. And Cortana, being able to use her with a headset is awesome. Though GKB kept making fun of me because my headset sucks, and
Yeah, it just wasn't working right at all.
I asked her to search for a game, and she searched pizza instead. So
Oh,
I think she even told-
Good
That's
search.
amazing.
I think she even told SheWolf to screw off or something. That was pretty funny.
So this
Oh,
is.
I asked her to. I asked her to add GKB to a party, and she said something about that question is wrong or something. I was like, what? My mic sucks either way. I have this crappy mic, but you know.
Well, about like
hopefully
Cortana, like I was at work today and like Xbot was like sending me messages all through Cortana, so he was like writing it as he was talking and all that kind of stuff. I think so. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I saw the video where he actually sent you that message. That was pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And then you responded.
Yeah.
Oh man, I better get my Xbox plugged in. I'm excited. I'm in preview
Yeah.
program. I don't know if I have it yet.
Yeah. I think.
Okay, so in this
Go ahead.
defense, Xbot does not have Phil Spencer following him, and he got the preview program update. So just forewarning to everybody in the chat here who's
Whatever.
saying I'm getting
I'm gonna believe
special
what I want to
privileges.
believe. Nah.
I do agree. Astros are awesome headsets. Storm, I actually don't have one.
I do.
GKB does, but I don't, sadly. So you know, it happened that way. But yeah, either way about the preview program, I do have a little bit of complaint is the store. I kind of liked the store before. It was simple and it was easy to find everything, and now they kind of stuck everything into this store. So yes, you have the games, but it doesn't have like say like the coming soon games, and I don't know. I think it's just a little too cluttered now, but that's just my opinion when it comes to the store. I do love when you go into your games and apps and the games are actually all tiled down now instead of having to go all the way to the far side. And you also have games that are not installed but are ready to be installed actually in the tab now, so you don't have to
Yeah,
scroll
the main
all
menu.
the way to the far side just to get to those games, and that part is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks sweet.
I think
Yeah,
like
you could
Cortana.
also.
Go ahead, Fox.
I was
Sorry.
just gonna say you could also like change the size on it, right?
Yeah, you
SheWolf,
can change the
Did you try
icon
that?
size. Yeah.
No, I haven't tried that. I haven't
Oh,
done.
okay.
I'd look through it. I was gonna do a video about it today, and then I don't know, just didn't.
I don't know, like for me I think like Cortana is like the one of the biggest things, like to be able to just like play your game and talk into the mic and say, hey, invite my friend, da da da. I think that's like amazing. The other thing SheWolf didn't touch on is, you know, the editing the clips and stuff. Like you could go ahead and download your clips onto editing any software, put overlays, whatever you want to do on it, make them look really cool. And as content providers and stuff like you know, all on this panel here, I think that's
Heck yeah.
freaking awesome, man. And then you can put them back on your feed. I think it's gonna look so cool.
God damn it, GKB. That's what
I
I was going to talk
attempted
about.
that. I actually attempted that today,
Yeah.
and I couldn't actually really figure it out. When you go to, you know, your activity feed now, it gives you this option to change what can be seen and what can't be seen. But the uploading, I couldn't actually figure it out. So
I think you have
that
to
is
do it through the
something.
Xbox app, like on your computer, like has to be
I
uploaded.
did though. But I couldn't find anywhere to upload it. Like I don't know. It was a little confusing. It's something definitely gonna have to look more into. But
Yeah.
I did try it.
Cool. Anybody else
True,
got
but-
anything on that?
I was gonna say, yeah, true, but like everything that you guys are talking about still has room for improvement because, like you guys said, it just came out. So, like when you talk to her and she's not responding properly, besides like you know the mic might not be perfect. She's also not perfect, also. So they still got to work on that, and that's why they need feedback. So when you guys try it, you got to get back to them on that.
Yeah.
Yo, like, with this update, when I was playing Halo 5, I was like screaming, "Hey Cortana, you bitch!" the whole game. So like, what's gonna happen with that? I'm just gonna like just start activating like random bullshit while I'm playing my game.
Probably. Well, you have to actually turn her on. There's
Yeah.
like actually quite a few things
Oh,
that you
okay,
have
yeah.
to approve to actually like get her working, and then of course you know there's settings. So
Now, one of the things I've heard that I think is actually like a pretty big step back is that I read that instead of saying Xbox on or Xbox off now, you just say, "Hey Cortana, turn Xbox on," and then she'll do it that way. Like I've heard that the original, you know,
they wanted everything to be the phone and the app. They wanted all of it to be the same commands. So when you're talking to either of those, you have to say, "Hey Cortana." So they wanted the Xbox app to be the same, or the Xbox Cortana to be the same, so that you know it was just an easy what do you call it? Transition from all three systems for people who use them on PC and who uses it on their phone and stuff. You know, they wanted it just to be a more simpler thing to use, so it's Hey Cortana now.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird to change it like before to turn on your Xbox with Kinect, it was just 2 words, and now it's, hey Cortana, turn Xbox. Like, it just feels weird that they've extended the amount of words you need to say for some features. Like, I think it makes a lot of sense for general navigation. It's just turning it on and off. Like, I don't know.
Does the original, does the Xbox On still work?
No,
if you
it
have
doesn't.
Kinect?
No, yeah, they took those away.
And like according to what I read, they took that out, which makes no sense. Like, that's super counterintuitive.
That I'm not excited about.
Yeah.
It's all special commands, all set to
Yeah,
hey
to-
Cortana.
To SheWolf's point, yeah, they just
Yeah.
changed it to be uniform across all the platforms. But yeah, I could see, like, you know, trying to turn your Xbox on or off, you know, you have to say a lot more than what you did before. So yeah, that could be kind of a bummer.
Well, and how's that going to work with, like, having my because I got my Windows 10 PC pretty much on the same desk as where my Xbox is. So what if I'm sitting here, you know, and I'm saying, oh, hey,
Chances are, if
turn
you're
on my
going to yell
Xbox.
at your Xbox, you're probably going to yell at your computer at the same time.
Yeah, so am I going to be, like, giving commands to the Cortana on my Xbox, and the Cortana on my PC is like, oh, I heard you say my name, what do you want? She's, like, always, like, trying to listen for something, and I got 2 competing Cortanas over here.
I was going to say, they're probably
Probably.
arguing with each other, like, hey, Cortana,
Right.
shut up, Cortana.
Hey, Cortana on my Xbox, turn off my PC, Cortana. Okay, hey, shut up.
That's an interesting thing, though, because we're the same way. Like, we have our Xboxes right here next to our PCs as well, so yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, how's that going to work? It would make sense for it to be like a different original command. That's why the Xbox, saying Xbox as the opening word for my commands for my console, and hey Cortana for my Windows 10 PC, makes sense.
Yeah,
Well,
but, like,
you know what would be a nice feature is if you could rename the navigation. So, like, if you could rename Cortana to something else on each of your platforms, so you could have hey Cortana on your Xbox, and then, you know, just because off the top of my head, you could change the PC version to Siri, so that way you don't double, you know what I mean? That way you don't double.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool if you could name your own navigator.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be a
Yeah.
pain in the ass for them to program.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like that would be sweet.
Well, but their
Yeah.
voice recognition is so good.
I
Like,
was gonna
if
say
you
they
guys have ever
actually
done-
they actually say people's gamer tags, they say people's real names. So to change a navigator's name, I don't really see why it would be that much harder. Though.
Well, to be fair, too,
Yeah.
like, on the PC, I don't really use Cortana that much. Like, rarely ever at all. Like, the only time I ever use voice commands is on my Xbox. So I might not, as you know, in my opinion, I might not have, you know, any trouble with that, but other people definitely could.
But people who actually do use her though could have some, and I'm sure though people aren't actually, like, the creators of this, I bet, weren't really thinking, okay, well, this person's gonna have their Xbox right beside their PC, so I don't really think they took that into consideration as well. But hey, you never know. Maybe if you put in feedback, maybe there's something that they can do. Even if they were to say change it to, like, Xbox is just Cortana, do this, but PC is hey Cortana, you know what I mean? Like, even just to change a single word for the command could possibly be done. But again, I don't really think they took into the thought that people would have their Xbox right beside their PC, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. Oh, I think it depends, like, what device you're on. So if you're actively using your Xbox and then you say that, then she'll wake up. And if you're using your phone and it's not on an off, screen, and you actually woke it up, then she'll listen to you over there instead. The reason why I say that is because when Xbot was showing, the new update on his stuff, he said he has it on his phone, and she was not, responding on the phone. She was only responding on the console.
Yeah, that was going to sort of be my
Interesting.
next level of this, is sort of the best way they could do it, which is, again, sort of like a next level thing, is if there was a way, if you had multiple Cortana-enabled devices on one local area network, that they could all communicate, sort of as one entity. So it's not I have her on my PC and I have her on my Windows Phone and I have her on my Xbox One. If there's just, there's one instance of Cortana that runs on my LAN. And so if hey, Cortana, add GKB to my party on Xbox. Oh, hey, launch, go to my YouTube channel on my PC. Oh, hey, take my phone and text whoever. That would be fantastic. But I feel like that's going to take a lot more dev work in the background.
Yeah, that's more detailed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you'll have to record us a video of you having both Cortanas and show us
See
what
how it goes,
actually
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. We still got a lot to talk about. All right, so let's go into the next topic. We got DeadRising 4 will be at E3. We kind of knew this was kind of coming. There's also been some posters and box art and stuff leaked as well. I want to go around and see what you guys think about DeadRising. What do you guys want from the new game? As far as me, I've heard a lot of things on the interwebs and stuff like that, and it seems like it's almost going to be like a remake or reimagining of the first game, which I think personally is kind of cool because I really enjoyed the first game. I like Frank West, and I like that guy as a character. And the art that we've seen too also shows like a similar character that looks very similar to him, and it looks like he's in a mall. So that's kind of.
He's holding the camera too, right?
Yeah, I think he has the I think he has a camera as well. But yeah, I'm really interested in it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first one, so them reimagining it, making it bigger, and all that kind of stuff is just win-win for me. What do everybody else think?
I think it sounds great. The only thing is that there's also a rumor of State of Decay, and I love zombies. I like the genre, but it's holy shit, there's only so much I'm willing to do zombie-wise from an exclusives perspective. But yeah, it seems pretty cool. The only thing, and I think they learned their lesson, especially with with DeadRising 3, they obviously didn't go back to it. But the one thing that always gave me anxiety in DeadRising 2 was that weird thing where you were always under the time crunch to get more of the, what was it called, Zombrex or something?
Yeah.
That gave me so much anxiety. I couldn't just enjoy killing zombies. Just in the back of their mind, they're like, yo, you better be back in 3 hours for the Zombrex. Whereas it wasn't your daughter would die if you didn't do it. So I really hope they avoid bizarre things like that. But I think that Frank West is a more compelling character than I even forget the guy's name from DeadRising 3, who is a bit of a douche. But I don't know. I definitely think it's a good franchise. I'm interested to see. Rumors have said that Microsoft is funding it. But I'm interested to see. I think that we'll probably see it on Windows 10 as well. That's kind of the trend. But I'm interested to see if it's a lifetime exclusive or if it's just one of those year, 6 months type of deal. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be Microsoft exclusive, and I think you're right too. It's going to be on Windows 10, and probably pretty much all the games going forward are probably going to be on Windows 10 and Xbox. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, Xbox and Windows 10 are becoming more and more synonymous. It's becoming more like a Microsoft gaming platform than Windows 10 or Xbox.
I don't care. More games sold means more games made.
No, I agree, 100%.
I don't understand why that's such an unpopular kind of thing. In the chat, talk about this, but I don't understand why it's such an unpopular thing. If Microsoft exclusive games, meaning Windows 10 and Xbox, sell more copies, that means you'll get more sequels. Sunset Overdrive coming to PC would mean that there are more people playing Sunset Overdrive, more people paying for it, which increases the odds of a sequel. If you like a game or a series or a developer, then you need to make sure their game sells well. I really don't understand why someone liking their game on Xbox means, hey, you people on PlayStation don't get to play it, or you people on PC don't get to play it. The more people playing the games, the better. I really don't understand this. I don't know. I don't like that sort of, opinion people get.
Well, I think it's just. Go ahead,
sorry.
Well, okay.
I was just going to say, my thing with DeadRising 4 is, I really hope that when they bring this game, they bring the co-op, because I really enjoy playing games co-op. I really do. I'm not huge on playing single players by myself. I enjoy playing them with friends. And I really hope that when they bring the co-op, because I know DeadRising 3 had co-op, but you had to do certain things to actually get into the co-op to begin with. And I really hope that they just make it simple where you can just, join your friends at the main screen and then just start the game and beat the game together kind of thing. So I do hope they improve that.
Yeah, they'd almost have to. I mean, if they're going to do 4-player co-op, it's saying they'd almost have to let you start the game and do it.
Yep. Well, and one of the things that, especially with DeadRising, is half of the fun was creating bizarre vehicles or weapons, and it's really funny to make a silly weapon, but it's even better when your best friend or your best friends are sitting next to you and they get to watch you use this ridiculous thing.
Right.
To mow down.
Hey guys, watch this.
All the screen caps that are gonna happen.
And then another thing that we haven't really touched on is DeadRising 3 was a launch title, which means that there were limitations with how much time Capcom had to develop the game to get used to the hardware. So now that we're 2 or 3 years into the life cycle, I'm interested to see what sort of performance things we can see in Dead Rising 4 that will stand out compared to the original, right? Because the original had 720p, struggled to maintain 30 frames per second. So I'm excited to see what kind of improvements we'll see this time around.
Yeah, definitely. I like to see more zombies on screen, man. Like, the more we can kill, the better. So.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Dead Rising did a really good job with like creating that swarm, that like that unrelenting force of zombies that I feel that they did, at least. And on a side note, do you think this Dead Rising movie is gonna help or hurt Dead Rising's release as a game?
Well, they had movies for Dead Rising 3, and like I think they actually ended up staying pretty limited release on Crackle, like Sony's weird streaming platform.
Right. Yeah, I think they're doing this new one on Crackle as well.
Right. So that means like all 6,000 people in the world who use Crackle might see a pretty shitty B movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll have much effect.
The games are definitely better.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anybody
I
else?
just enjoy how much detail they put into each zombie. You do have like all these huge hordes, and I remember just like running up to most of them and stuff like that, and a lot of them actually have like their own look, even though there's so many. And that's definitely like this style of game brings you so much. And then of course, even the graphics and the scenery and everything, you get a really nice look to a fun game. And hey, everyone loves like zombies, I'm sure, and The Walking Dead is a huge thing. So for them to bring out Dead Rising 4, I think is like a perfect idea, because there's tons of people who keep asking for more zombie games.
Now, do you guys think that it would be wise for Microsoft to release State of Decay and Dead Rising, both? Presumably, again, the release dates haven't really been set. I assume fall or early next year. Do you think there might be some, I guess it's kind of a joke with zombies, but do you think there'll be some sales cannibalization releasing two zombie games with online co-op so close to each other? I mean, to me, that seems
I don't think
dangerous.
so. Because I don't, because I think they probably each have their own fan base, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're different.
Go Fox.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with you. I think they're like different kind of games, and they offer different things. Obviously, everybody loves Capcom because of how they do zombies. Obviously, with Dead Rising and Resident Evil, even though I know they're probably made by two different like sections or whatever.
Right.
But,
yeah.
What
they are different in that, like, they're very tonally different, right? Like Dead Rising has always been a little bit tongue-in-cheek about the zombie thing, and I think State of Decay, I never beat it, but I think it definitely took it a little bit more seriously than I think Dead Rising does.
Yeah, for
Also,
sure.
you have to look at the concepts. You have State of Decay, where, you're actually having to run through and you're finding just standard, sticks and whatever that you have to survive with, where Dead Rising, you have that funness where you have to like pretty much create these weapons. You need to create these like different things to survive. So some people don't like each from the other. So like I said before, they're gonna have their own fan bases, and truthfully, anyone who likes zombies, I'm pretty sure is gonna buy both games anyways. Just for the fact that they're zombies.
Yeah, like I agree. Like they're two different player bases for sure. Like State of Decay was more of resource management, and I mean it still wasn't the zombie apocalypse type thing, but and Dead Rising is more of your arcade fun shoot 'em up with kind of cool stuff. But it's still gonna come down to like how close are they gonna release together, because there's still that chance that if a gamer only has so much money, they're not gonna be able to get two. So it comes down to like which one are they gonna pick. So.
Crap Gamer just said that State of Decay is 2007 late or 2018. Dead Rising is early next year, or sorry, either this year or early 2017.
Yeah, so if that's true, then there's no worry at all. Like
no, they're gonna be
they're
completely
gonna be separate, far apart.
Yeah, I mean that's purely a speculation. They haven't confirmed those dates. We'll see. Look, E3's a week away. We'll see.
Yeah, but for me though, like I'm more excited about State of Decay's new IP than I am another Dead Rising. I just like what they do. They're very innovative over there. They're doing some really cool stuff. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, especially how like Crap Gamer just pointed out another thing that I had read previously as well, that it's State of Decay is actually going to be like a zombie MMO. It's not actually going to be like Dead Rising, where it's just, you know, an RPG style game. So if they are making it, say, more of an MMO feel, like to the whole open world and so on and so forth, where like everybody's going to be in with everybody kind of thing, then that could change completely the fan base of either games. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, like, it's good if they do that because I know a lot of people that, I mean, my brother's one of them who wants that MMO feel to it and he wants to play with other people online. So they would be listening to their fans.
So, and this is just a general question for everybody, both in the chat and in the podcast. When I play a little bit of State of Decay, I actually didn't even finish it, but I got anxiety because things would change when you wouldn't play it. I actually get the same thing from like even games like Animal Crossing, when I hear about like if you don't play it, they give you some shit for it, like that gives me anxiety. And like, is that something that people like in their games, that level of I guess they kind of demand a certain degree of dedication while you play through them.
I think so. If they're MMO, yeah, I think they do because it feels like realistic and open world and stuff.
Right. And do you guys think that's for the betterment of the game, or is that is that something you guys like?
Well, I think
generally?
that goes back to like any MMO to be like truly successful at an MMO. Like you need to like dedicate some time to it. Whether you're playing WoW or you're playing State of Decay or whether you're playing, just even Destiny. Like you have to grind those games to be really good at it. So I mean, to succeed in those type of games, you need that dedication. So I'm drawn on playing MMOs because I like playing so many games. There's so many games that have come out and that are coming out. I have trouble dedicating myself to one game. I mean, I'm even having trouble dedicating myself to The Witcher's DLC right now because I got Overwatch I want to play. I got some like indies. I mean, there's so many games I want to play.
Traitor.
Oh my god, I was debating if I should have said Overwatch or not. I knew it was either going to be GK or SheWolf who was going to give me some kind of bullshit about that. But
It was SheWolf who said it. Nerd? Do you not even know people's voices now?
No, I said I knew it was going to be either
one or the other.
Either you or GKB that was going to give me some kind of shit about it. I debated even putting that tweet out the other day because I, like the second I put it out, I got some kind of crap from GKB. But anyways, let's segue.
Cool. Anybody else want to say anything about Dead Rising 4 before we move on?
Nope.
Cool. All right, let's get into the next subject. Is the possible leaks of the Halo Wars 2 like box art or maybe just art all in general. I want to go around and see what is everybody excited for Halo Wars 2? You guys interested in it? Did you guys play the first one? What did you guys think about the picture? Did you find any cool stuff in it? We're going to go ahead and start with Brutal on this one.
Yeah, I mean, starting off, man, like, I'm partially biased because, I mean, I love Halo. Halo is a groundbreaker. I think a lot of people feel the same way. I mean, whether or not you like it now or not, Halo was revolutionary. But as far as this picture goes, like, I'm not one to like put a lot into like speculation. I don't read a lot into leaks. I don't read a lot into that kind of stuff because I like concrete evidence. But if this picture is any indication of what Halo Wars 2 is going to be, I am pretty stoked about it. I mean, you can see there's a lot of hints. I mean, if you really dig into it and dissect the picture, which there's plenty of sources that have done that to like an extreme degree. One thing that I would have liked to see from Halo Wars 1 to 2 is a different time frame. Even though they were a pain in the ass, I would have liked to see another class come in, maybe add the Prometheans to it. But just going off this photo alone, I'm not a big RTS fan, so I mean, I can't provide like a really unbiased opinion because I'm not a big fan of RTS in the first place. But I mean, the developers, I mean, that did Halo 1, I mean, they're obviously no longer around, so I'm excited to see how the new devs pick up and carry this story along going forward with Halo Wars 2 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like we say, guys, like when we see all these leaks and stuff like that, please take this with a grain of salt. This could be completely fake. Doesn't even, relate to the game at all. So, but yeah, like I don't know, like I was reading a lot of like forums and stuff about this, and like a lot of people are saying that it looks like it's the Ark. It might be taking place before like the Halo 3 game, which is kind of interesting. I like, if this leak image is true, I like the focus on the brutes, because we've seen that in the teaser as well at last year's E3, which I think is cool. Like we've already had a Covenant game. I'd rather see like the brutes, the other side there. I also like that they're like the brutish kind of like scarabs in the image and stuff too. I think that's kind of cool. And like the internet's like going crazy of this like either vehicle or whatever off to the side, kind of like shooting rockets. People are like thinking it was maybe the Flood or something like that. Almost to me, it almost looks like a Forerunner type like vehicle or something like that. So I don't know.
It could even be like just like a poorly rendered like Gauss Cannon Warthog running
Yeah,
through,
definitely. Yeah, definitely, for sure. But yeah, I mean, we see Banshees, we see all the Halo stuff. I think it's gonna be cool, man. I'm pretty stoked and excited for it.
One of the things that I think is great. So this is made by Creative Assembly. I'm sure a lot of people know it, but I'll just touch on it really quick. They've made a lot of the RTS games that you've probably played or heard of over the past 10, 15 years. So the pedigree of Creative Assembly, the people who are working with 343 to make this is actually pretty good. But I do think it's hilarious that this supposed piece of art is the most Halo-looking Halo thing we've seen in a long time. It looks very, very old-school Halo, right? Like the deep purples and the bright colors that you'd kind of expect from like Halo 2 era.
For sure,
yeah, but I think that the problem is that the first game didn't sell very well, and I think it's partly because people are very, very skeptical of an RTS games on console. But I think that at E3, I would be shocked if we didn't hear something about keyboard and mouse support coming to select games on Xbox.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And with this game coming to Windows 10, so long as Microsoft can kind of fix some of the broken things about the Windows 10 store, I think that this has potential with the PC crowd to be pretty big because, again, people like Creative Assembly's work. So, I think Halo Wars 1 was definitely a good game. I just hope that they've made enough changes on console to cater to the RTS playstyle and on PC to kind of make sure that the Windows 10 store doesn't turn gamers off.
So it's interesting to me, all right, so Ensemble Studios did Halo Wars 1, right? They're like the RTS gods when it came to like Age of Empires. I mean, that's like a timeless game for those that like RTS. I'm interested to see how 343 like carries that responsibility over and produces another quality RTS. I mean, because a lot of people liked Halo Wars. Granted, it didn't sell a lot, but the people that bought it liked it. I mean, and I think
I thought it was great.
I think it targets the RTS fan base. So I mean, I don't know. I'm interested to see how they transfer over from making awesome campaigns and awesome multiplayer into transitioning that multiplayer into a RTS platform.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be cool to see, like, with the keyboard and mouse support, if that does come and everybody can use that, like, because I think RTSs work really well with a mouse and keyboard. Not that Halo Wars 1 didn't work fantastic with a controller, because it really did. But I'm definitely interested to see how that mechanic will play out.
Well, and that's what I'm really most excited about to see it come back now, is that the first one, it was sort of one of the first huge, like right in the spotlight RTSs on console, and so much of the hype leading up to it had to do with, how are they going to do a console that plays well on a controller instead of with a keyboard and mouse? And that was so much of what we had going into the game, and you didn't really get that opportunity to say, heck yeah, I'm excited to play a Halo RTS. And then, like you said, the people who really enjoyed that game, like, it did well, the controls did work really well when you were using a controller. And now to bring it back on Xbox One, when we know that is perfected from the controller side, but now we might also be seeing the keyboard and mouse, the traditional way to play an RTS being brought into that as well. The opportunities are endless, and to see more Halo content coming out, between games is really great. And I like your point as well. I'm sorry, I already forgot who it was who brought it up, but this is the most Halo-looking Halo,
Absolutely.
in a while, that it's not this sort of new age. Like, it's the deep purple Covenant, and you've got the brutes, and if the arc, is in here, because again, we don't know when exactly this falls in, but if the arc is part of the game, we're obviously pre-Halo 3, so exciting time.
Exciting time. What about you?
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Oh, go ahead, Wolf. I mean, Fox, my bad.
I'll also say I'm interested to see like what they're gonna do with the story, and the picture looks pretty cool. I also heard some people talking about how the arc is in the background. I think they said it was broken and that it was gonna be after Halo 3. So that kind of like links up to what GKB was saying in the beginning, because he said that something about Halo 3, like it was going to be before, but I heard people saying this actually going to be after. Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing like where that story goes.
So it's going to be somewhere around Halo 3.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Because now that you bring that up, it makes me realize that we never actually saw like, the end of Halo 1. Sorry if there's any. I mean, I guess I'm going to call this spoiler alert, but there's no forgiveness if you're that far back. The end of Halo 1, you clearly see like Halo destroyed, like individual bits of it flying through space. In the end of Halo 3, you're sort of told like, oh, if you ignite the ring, like, the arc will be destroyed, and then the ring. You activate the ring, but it's as sort of, the chief, everyone's teleported away. So you never actually see the arc, destroyed or just broken, or, you don't have like, this is what happens to the arc after Halo 3. And so that is actually a really good point, that's the big a loose end right there that Halo Wars 2 could pick up and do some great things with.
Like, talking about like sales and who this Halo Wars is going to be targeting, or like who's going to be interested in Halo Wars, in conjunction with like the keyboard and mouse coming to Xbox, do you think that could potentially pull some other like people that are more to the RTS of say like StarCraft, for example? Do you think that would spark their interest to come and try out Halo Wars now that they have like the peripherals to play it as they're used to playing? Do you think that might? I
think that all depends on like if they're going to release it on just Xbox or Xbox and PC. If they do both, then
Well, I think they confirmed it's coming to Windows 10, but it's actually more along the lines of like if they can get Windows 10 Store to stop being so limited compared to like Steam and other alternatives, right? A lot of the reason people don't like the Windows 10 Store is because they have issues. I know they've fixed a lot of the VSync things that they had before, but they still have a lot of the things that prevent modding, and I think that turns off a lot of PC gamers. Mm-hmm. So like if they, again, like Halo Wars 2 is slated probably for November, so they've got a lot of time to fix things. Yeah, sure. It's just, can they get that done by November? We'll see.
Yeah, and for like bringing people over, it's always about like content and gameplay and everything else. I mean, yeah, Windows Store is a factor, but I mean, if the game plays well, like people will come and play it, man, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Halo Wars 2 before we move on? All right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the Destiny DLC to be streamed June 9th. I want to go ahead and see what everybody's thoughts were. What are they going to show? What do you guys think it's going to be? I like speculation stuff, so we're going to go ahead and start with SheWolf.
Well, of course we know, a new race is going to be coming. They're supposed, or at least that's what the rumor is. They're supposed to actually be taking on a whole new threat. So, I'm assuming they're going to be raising the light level and. I would actually like to see them actually add new planets for once, but I doubt that's actually going to happen. But
so when you say new race, you're talking about like an enemy race? Is that what?
Yeah, okay, I believe it's supposed to be like there's a new enemy threat.
So I have to ask,
is
it really going to be a new enemy, or is it going to be like a rehash of what they already have?
I don't know, because see, they already have like all their original threat, and then they just turn their original threat into like black and white ghost-looking things. So technically, it was just the same thing, just different colors. So
they acted a little bit differently in combat. So you're like, it took me 5 minminutes to learn to fight the Taken, and there you go.
Yeah, they had like strobe light problems where they just kept like wigging out all the time. Woohoo! That's what it came down. don't get me wrong, I actually really loved Destiny when it first came out and stuff like that. You know, I played my heart out on this game and then was disappointed from the lack of content, then went back to it for each of the DLCs. Yes, I was one of those bad ones that gave into it. And, you know, I enjoyed Taken King, and even though it was the same enemy that was there, still, you know, still went back to it and tried it, played it, got as far as I could, and then that was just kind of the gist of it. So I don't know. I would like to see them actually bring something actually different. Like, bring a new planet, bring a completely new race. Stop with this whole repeating yourself and just changing what you have into, like, what are they going to do? Like, are they just going to be the same thing but zombies this time? Like,
Everybody in the chat's hilarious.
sure, why not? Everything's zombies nowadays.
I was gonna say, I thought you like zombies.
Yeah.
I do, but it's still, you know, it's still the same thing. Like, is it
That
going to
doesn't
be
mean don't.
like...
It doesn't mean
Yeah.
overdo it.
I
Yeah.
get you.
I
wanna
promise
see,
in the
like-
chat we won't be talking about this for very long. We'll move on here shortly.
The issue too with this new Destiny thing is look, like, it could be great and like that would be awesome, because honestly, like, I think that the Taken King fixed, like I don't play Taken King. I haven't played it since 2015, but I think it fixed a lot of the issues with vanilla Destiny. But I think the difference this time around is that Destiny 2, I mean, they haven't come out and officially announced it, but everybody knows it's in the cooker. You know, they've already announced that it was supposed to come this fall, but got pushed to 2017. So I think they're going to have some challenges convincing consumers, hey, you should buy this expansion pack for a game, but in a year, you better expect to be playing the sequel, right? Like,
Right.
if you know that the next game is coming out, like, it's kind of like, it's really hard to convince somebody in September to buy the Call of Duty DLC when the new game comes out in 2 months. Like, you're going to have a hard time pitching new DLC when the sequel is coming out in 6 to 12 months. I think that's a difference this time around.
It's not even just that. Like, even though they keep bringing out all this DLC, I want the actual story to why the Guardians are the Guardians.
Stay
like,
tuned for Destiny 2.
that's pretty much what it's gonna end up being. Like,
Yeah, because this one's not gonna get into that. Like, for real,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to wait for part 2. This one's gonna be about the Iron Lords and things like that. So it's gonna be about their story, or like that link that we've seen from probably. I don't know if they're gonna go back or you're gonna link to it or something, but it's gonna be about something related to Iron Banner guys.
oh, I'm sure it's
So-
just gonna be a couple of cutscenes here and there, and then the Iron Banner guys will just be, yep, we're here now.
Real
New
quick, do you guys
quest
think this is gonna be a paid DLC? Have they said anything yet? Is this gonna be free? Are we paying?
I think it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
a
gonna be
paid
paid.
DLC.
It's
Oh, I'm
It's
sure
gonna be just like Taken
it'll
King.
probably be like between like $20 to $30. I'm sure, because all the other
Yeah.
expansions were.
That's a lot of money for DLC. $30. Whew.
yeah, especially like how Bear said that another game is gonna be just around the corner.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
compared to like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I was just go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, to what GKB was saying, $20 to $30 is like a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, you look at Blood and Wine just came out, and you can buy Witcher and all of the DLC for $48.
Yeah.
When Blood and Wine launched. So I mean, I don't know. I think that price point's a little high, but I definitely don't think it's going to be free.
But then you have people buying Overwatch for like $60 too, which is kind of weird.
God damn it.
Oh god,
Still on it.
That's
you walked
cool.
into it.
Oh my god, dude.
I think probably the best thing for Destiny right now is that, you know, they're really, and I hate to have to say this, but they're definitely like a low point. And so I think with this expansion, the best news is that they can really only gain from it. You know, they can really only bring people back by they have something that people want to play, and they price it at a point that, you know, they have it available at a price point that people are going to be willing to pay for. You know, even knowing that there's a whole new game coming next year. You know, they really have a lot to gain there, but then at the same time, they really have to nail that. And so, you know, I mean, I believe in you, Bungie. If you're out there listening, I believe in you. And let's do this thing. I mean, let's make
I want to
let's
believe
make it awesome.
Like Inferno said, I did technically get my story if I would have read their Grimoire cards, but hello, I don't want to have to go read some stupid cards to get a story
Yeah,
that should
it
be
should
in
have
the
been in the
game.
game.
Yeah,
The only
it's
thing-
like given to you.
Yeah.
That's the
People
thing.
are
Is, like,
riot
all
now.
the-
That I actually like about this new DLC is the fact that there's wolves on the picture. But guess what?
Yeah.
I probably won't see them in the game. So
I was gonna ask you about that, SheWolf. Like, are you gonna be like day one because it has wolves on it?
I would have to actually see them in there if I could have a pet wolf. But I bet you it's just on the picture, and I probably would
GKB
never
is not
even see
buying
it.
this DLC if there's crap in it, man. That's for damn sure.
Oh man, and,
Well,
and like
which-
building off this concept of like, well, you got to read the Grimoire cards. They'll give you the backdrop. Like to me, that's such a bullshit excuse for bad storytelling. Like I love the Dark Souls games; they've been really fun. But when people are like, oh well, the story is in the lore and in the items you pick up, and it's like, okay, well that's
Yeah.
not really the same as giving
Right,
the story.
right.
It's
I mean,
No,
I
it's a lazy way of doing it. Oh, well, we
Right.
didn't want to give you a real campaign. We didn't want to actually have to make all these cutscenes, so we're just going to give you crappy little cards that you can find and then have to go to our website and then read.
Right,
You know
it's a
that.
piecemeal them together. Yeah, no, it's an excuse for bad storytelling. But one of the things that's frustrating about Destiny, and this is really not just Destiny, it's all games with a lot of expansion packs, is that again with Destiny 2 coming next year, it's really hard to see myself getting excited for Destiny 2 when every single year they've got a new iteration where I don't have the time to really miss the game. And I have the same issue with Call of Duty, where if Call of Duty released every 2 years, I'd probably miss it enough where I would actually buy it every time I
pick it
get
up.
a new game.
For
But
sure.
if I don't have the time to miss your game, I can't get jazzed for it again. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you see your best friend every day, it won't be as exciting as if like you haven't seen them for a week and then you hang out. It's that same sort of relationship with IPs. I don't know. There's not a lot of innovation from expansion pack to expansion pack, and I can't get excited for this.
Cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and the chat's like falling asleep that we're talking about Destiny. So,
Wake up, people!
let's go ahead and move on. Let's get out of that one. All right, let's go ahead and get into the Mafia 3 Collector's Edition. Hit the interwebs. I want to see what everybody thinks about like Collector's Edition. Do you think this one's kind of cool? Let's go ahead and start with Fox on this one.
Oh yeah, that collection looks freaking awesome.
I agree.
It has freaking vinyls on
I
it.
know,
and
that's what I was
two of
thinking.
them,
For sure.
and it has a freaking art book, and it just looks awesome. I would totally get that. And I mean, I don't even know that much about the game. I know the game looks really interesting, and they're gonna hit a lot of like deep storyline. But that collection makes me want to buy it.
Absolutely, I'm right there with you. Those vinyls are like so dope. I was like, oh
yeah,
man,
I have
that's
the
so
one
cool.
for BioShock too, and I would love to add that to the collection.
I'm really hyped for this game too, man. I think it looks amazing. Like, I like the protagonist and what he's gonna be doing.
The era.
Yeah, and the era
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic. The music too, like when he's driving in the car, I was like, oh man, this is
Exactly.
great. So
You know
good.
what's the big problem with Mafia 3? It's fucking release date. There's nothing wrong with the game, but when it releases within a week or within a month of presumably a Forza title, Gears of War, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Titanfall,
Yeah.
like it just falls onto the back burner. Like I'm sorry. Like, and again, this expansion pack looks great. Like the addition of vinyls is always exciting. The rest of it looks pretty sweet, but it's just like, and even everything with the game looks great. But the fall becomes so crowded that there's just not enough time, and for me, money to just enjoy all of these games when they come out.
Yeah, it's jam-packed holiday again this year, man.
For sure.
But that's why you buy them and play them later.
Yeah, the backlog's already huge right now.
That's what I've been saying. Is like
wait till March for the price drop.
Yeah,
fall
that's true.
time. Fall time is like is backlog season, dude. Like all these games coming out. I mean, look at that picture that's up right now. I mean, look at how many cool collectibles you have. I mean, like regardless if like, and that's just cool decoration for your like. for
Does
your
anyone know the
for your
price of
gaming
it?
room.
I think 150.
150.
Yeah, I think it's 150.
Because, speaking of collectors, how we had mentioned Horizon Dawn, they even have a collector's, which I gotta give them credit for, is actually a pretty sweet looking collector's edition with the statue of her.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's only,
I
is
agree.
it only 100 or 120. It was
I
relatively.
think it's like 120. And I have to give credit to all these games that are bringing out these collector's editions for actual decent prices and
Right.
actually being as amazing as they are. Like, I believe you can actually get the Halo 5 one for like $98 on Amazon
Yeah.
still, and like that's like 2 big statues. So
Yeah, those statues are really cool too, man.
I'm giving major kudos to all these collector's editions. They definitely give you something worth your money.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's so hit and miss for waiting on collector's editions, right? Like I'm a big Max Payne 3 fan, so I eventually got the Max Payne collector's edition that came with the statue for like $15 on Amazon. But then there are things like the Witcher 3 statue, which still sells insanely well. It makes it really tough to figure out which collector's editions that you can wait on.
I'm waiting
Definitely
on
a tough
that Titanfall 2 collector's edition.
Yeah.
Give me another
That's
Titan.
That's gonna be dope. I want a Titan statue so bad.
Same here, man, for sure. So everybody likes
Hopefully that
collector's
price
editions,
point's
right?
A little bit lower though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody digs them. Cool. Any other things before we go ahead and move on?
Nope.
I think also the season pass comes with that collector's edition.
It does.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Which
that
is
has.
always BS when the collector's edition doesn't include that. Like
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
they might change it after E3 when they announce it, but like right now, the most expensive version, which is like I think $150 of the new Battlefield, doesn't include premium, which it will inevitably be put in the game. But like I have a hard time spending $150 and it's not the complete experience.
I
Like,
agree.
Exactly.
I agree with that for sure.
I think that's normal though for that. If I remember, I feel like the premium edition always launches like a couple months after.
Yeah, but I think you're right. But they also don't. I mean, I don't know. Like it'd be cool if they threw it in like I'm not saying a premium edition of the game. Like I'm fine with it costing $110. I just figured part of my $150 would cover, some part of the season pass. But you are right. They usually launch the premium edition, 6 months into the cycle.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
they didn't do that.
I think anything that you pay more than the standard price should include the season pass. Like regardless, like if you're buying like the limited edition, the premium edition, the collector's edition, if you're paying over $100, you should be included with the season pass. Like I just think
Yeah.
that part is
I 100% agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I say from 80 up.
I hate to give them credit, but typically, from a digital standpoint, if you buy, like, for example, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, they have a $100 version on the marketplace, and that's the season pass in the game. But with Infinite Warfare, I hate to give them credit, but for the $100 version, you get the season pass, Infinite Warfare, and the remaster. And like,
Yep.
that's if you're a Call of Duty fan, like that's a fucking great deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
agree. I can agree with that for sure.
Yep.
Because
100%.
some people are selling remasters at the same price as the regular game. So I mean, essentially, you're getting 2 games and the DLC in the season pass for that price. Like,
Well, that game's definitely going to end up. I'm sure the standard game and stuff like that is going to go up in sale, and it's just, it's insane how you see people selling like when you got Alan Wake and stuff, how those games go up to almost like full price again, and it is definitely ridiculous. But what Call of Duty did. But at the same time, though, you still have to own that game to play that game. Is my only issue. So yes, even though they are giving you the season pass, they're giving you that game, they're still kind of screwing you over at the same time. They're giving you 2 games, but it's technically 1 game.
they knew. I think they knew that they were gonna be like, they were gonna get shit on when they released this like going to fucking space Call of Duty. I'm like,
Yeah.
they need to give some.
They're not
incentive.
stupid, man.
Yeah, they need to give some. I mean, regardless if you listen to it or not, like them releasing this game, people want to scream, "Oh, they're not listening to their fans. They don't know what their fans want." But at the same time, like they know what their fans want. They want that COD 4, so they're gonna attach it on the side and be like, "All right, you have to buy everything, bitches." Like,
It's like that. Here's our game, and then here's the reason to buy it, and
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
separate. Like,
Cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. We got one more topic, and then we're going to get into some questions from the chat there, so make sure you guys get your questions out. We'll take a few of them before we get out of here. All right, so next one we're going to get into is the release date for Titanfall 2. They're stating that it's going to be 3 weeks either prior or after Battlefield 1. And, we've already stated on this podcast already multiple times, timing is everything. And I wanted to see what you guys think of this, 3-week thing here. Potentially could be in November around COD or before Battlefield 1, like end of August, early October. What do you guys think? Let's go ahead and start with AsthMattic on this one.
actually, I might pass this off to someone else as a lead, just because
Sure.
I don't really have a huge, groundbreaking opinion on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say something then because I'm sorry. I
Take
love
it.
this game.
SheWolf's always gonna say something.
When it comes to this game, yes, you know, I think I'm more excited for this game than I was for like when the Division came, and
Whoa.
yeah, I was really excited for that
That's-
game.
that's
So
good
you know, now the dates that have been provided was I believe September 30th or November 11th. And when it comes to those two, preferably I want it September 30th, but that's just because I want the game, I want it out, I want to play it, and I want to play it now. But when it comes to like the right marketing and the right time to do it, I don't think doing it right after COD could be a complete bad thing just because of the fact people, you know, say they buy it and then they see what it is and then they're bored of it and then Titanfall comes out and then they're like, we have the next awesome shooter. We have to get this game. You know what I mean? Like it can fall in two different ways. It could be either where it's going to be successful because of the fact that COD did fail as what it kind of looks like it's going to, and then they can fall back on Titanfall, or it could do badly because of the fact that people already spent their money on Call of Duty and now they don't really have, you know, the means to actually fall back onto.
Well, for me, like it's kind of bittersweet. Like I want it as early as possible because I love Titanfall. Like I'm playing that before I play any other shooter, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I want it early as possible. But I kind of like go with you too, SheWolf. Like I think November, like it would show a lot of confidence in that developer. They're like, I don't give a shit. They're like, if COD's coming out in November, we're gonna drop our game. We're gonna sell well. They're already touting like it's gonna be like the biggest thing that anybody's ever seen. Like that's just like confidence, man, and I'm all about it. So if I'd say drop it right when COD comes out, man. Let's see what happens.
See, like 2 weeks ago, if you had said, is it a good idea to launch Titanfall 2 right after Call of Duty, I would say no. Because, you know, look, every time a Call of Duty game comes out, everybody who plays a lot of video games and is active online likes to take a dump on Call of Duty, and that's kind of the status quo. But then the games come out and the sales are huge. But this time around, now that we actually this week they just leaked some of the pre-order numbers for Infinite Warfare.
Right.
They're the worst in modern history for the franchise.
Yep.
I think that now more than ever is a time for EA to finally squeeze Activision, right? Putting Battlefield 1, which obviously is going to dominate based on you know, the support it's garnered since its announcement earlier last month, and then Titanfall on both sides will just pinch the Call of Duty you know, market. I think that if somebody only has $120 to spend this year on first-person shooters, Battlefield 1 is the obvious one, and Titanfall 2, depending on how they show at E3, probably will be the better option for a lot of people.
Well, they're already saying that like Titanfall 2 is going to steal the show. Like they're putting a lot of credit into this game, and truthfully, I like if it releases in September, I still think it can do just as good, to be honest, because if it still gives enough weeks for when Battlefield 1 comes out, and then everyone will already have bought these two games instead, and then they won't probably focus on Call of Duty. So I don't really think releasing it after Call of Duty is the greatest thing to do, to be honest.
I'm still like part of that, like, you know, let's duke it out kind of thing. Like, you know, I'm a soldier. Everybody knows I'm in the army and all that kind of stuff. But like, I just want to see him duke it out, man. Like the original Infinity Ward guys, man, the ones that actually made some really good CODs back in the day.
Yeah,
probably one of the better freaking studios out there that did COD. You know, left make Respawn. You know, they're coming out saying, hey, it's gonna be huge, and like release it in COD. That's almost like, you know, taking a dump on their face. Like, we got this kind of thing, you know. So
yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then they should actually say Call of Duty is supposed to be releasing on November 4th, which is a Friday. So if they were to actually release it on a Tuesday when standard games are supposed to release, like say like that same week, then yeah, they probably could crunch Call of Duty pretty easily.
Yep, agreed. Drop the Titan on them.
Drop that Titan.
Yeah,
Drop that Titan.
Or even drop it, like, to be honest, I think they should drop it that Friday. If both games were to release on the same day, that would
That'd
really
be amazing.
it would really
I'm right there with you
question
guys.
which game people would go to. Titanfall has already proven to be a game a lot of people are looking forward to. Like, Sony's finally getting it. So you have all of these people driven to want this game.
Yep.
And then you have, you know, the Xbox fan base, which got to play the original one, but wanted more. That's all people have said, is they love this game, but they want more, and they're giving us more. So if they market this right, they could probably drop it the same day as Call of Duty, and they could probably crush them, because both sides are looking at this game saying, this is what I want. So it could
E3 is
be
definitely
very
going to be the
interesting.
tell, like, when they show the gameplay of each of them, so.
Well, and it's got to be bittersweet for Sony, right? Because they just got the marketing rights for Call of Duty, and so this year they're in charge of the Call of Duty that's so far a stinker, and then they're also getting Titanfall 2. So, like, on one side, like, hey, our platform's getting Titanfall 2. It's a game that a lot of people like. This is good news. On the other side, oh, but we're paying the people who are going against Titanfall 2. So it's definitely probably a bittersweet time for a
God.
PlayStation executive. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Anybody else about the Titanfall?
I was gonna say, regarding the date, I'm happy if it comes out, you know, before Battlefield or after. I'm gonna buy it either way.
Yep, same.
But yeah, I just want them to go head to head. So I'm with you on that. I want to see like Call of Duty and them duke it out.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think
Same
they have
day.
a lot to gain from a beta too. If they haven't said anything about one, but I think Titanfall 2 would benefit tremendously from a beta, particularly for PC and Xbox gamers, because we know how much content the first game offered.
Right.
I think the big thing that Respawn needs to do this time around with the next iteration is nail some sort of depth to the game, because the base gameplay is incredible and they don't really need to change that much, but it was just like there wasn't enough customization or unlocks to keep the core gameplay fun past the first 3 weeks of launch. So a beta could kind of show, hey, here are some new systems we've implemented to keep your attention past the first 3 weeks. I don't know, that more than Battlefield 1 I think could benefit tremendously from a beta.
I agree. Like, I think a big discussion about Titanfall in general is like, I mean, I know for me, like, the lack of customization. I mean, I think you should be able to completely customize your Titan, your pilot. There's not that customization factor that people have come so accustomed to with other shooters, with anything else of that same genre. My only real complaint about the Titanfall 2 release date is that I don't fucking know like what I'm gonna do with my time when I have Titanfall and Battlefield 1. Like,
Yeah, agreed.
my life's gonna be gone. Like, I've already I pre-ordered BF1 like day one, so
I could tell you, like, community game nights are going to be awesome.
yeah, they are. Cause like Titanfall 1 game nights are like off the chain, dude.
Yeah, I would actually just like to point that out. Someone said in the chat that they were thinking about buying Titanfall, but they heard it was dead online. Do not believe those rumors. We
Yeah.
can otherwise. We've had
Hop
game
on
nights.
that hype train.
There is actually still a lot of people playing it, and with Titanfall 2 coming, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a heck of a lot more people playing it this summer, just to
Yep.
get back into the feel of the boosting, the jumping, and everything else that it brings.
Sure.
And here's
Agreed.
Here's a
Well,
good
that's good.
segue too, like, real quick. You know what? Grab it. It's super cheap, and this weekend we're playing actually Titanfall for the community game night. So
Oh,
come
sweet.
jam out with us, and
Yes,
we'll show
we
you how fun that
are.
game is. So just come
And
on
it's
and
got
rock out.
free season pass, people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, free season. Come on, it's
Yeah,
worth it.
everybody's
Totally.
still on
Free
there.
EA access if you have EA access.
Yeah, and we're doing that because Titanfall 2 is going to be announced on Sunday, so we thought it'd be really cool to play it on Saturday, have a bunch of fun, and then watch the cool like show on Sunday. So
The big reveal.
cool. Anything else before
Yeah, I'm
Titanfall
definitely-
2? Go ahead, Fox.
No, I was just gonna say I'm definitely gonna be busy with that Gears of War and Battlefield for sure.
Yeah,
No
you
sleep.
are. Definitely Gears.
No
is gonna
sleep
be
team.
There ain't no sleep this winter.
Cool.
Mm-mm.
All right, let's go. So SheWolf and I announced a giveaway we did last week, so we're gonna go ahead and announce the winners that we picked.
What?
Yeah,
For
so
the Doom stand-ups.
yeah, the Doom stand-ups. 2 lucky
These things
people.
are sweet too, man.
Yeah, 2
I
lucky
said
people are gonna go
Doom
ahead and get.
Standy. last time.
No worries. Two lucky people are going to go ahead and get one of these. So our winners are Shiny Hounds and B. Watkins. We're going to shoot you some emails after the show. Please respond. We'll give you some time to respond, but if not, we'll go ahead and just randomly pick somebody to give them out. So.
And it's not for the controller, it is just for the stand-up, but you can see in the picture that these are compared to the controller and how big they really are.
Yay,
Cool.
Congratulations.
What's up, Taz?
Yeah, congratulations.
Like 6 feet.
Yeah, they're
Something
pretty
like
tall.
that. Full cardboard.
Cool.
Yeah, they're sweet, man.
Alright, we have a question from Shadowstorm.
What's up, Shadowstorm?
Or, sorry, Storm Shadow. My bad. I
Shadow.
said it backwards.
Wow. And you made me say
Oh,
it
man.
backwards. Wow.
I did. I said it backwards, and then, yeah, you followed. Ha, sucker.
Totally trolled me on that one.
When
Anyway,
people do
so-
that.
Yeah, hi, Fox. Anyway, so the question for the panel is, what third-party company at EA, or why do I keep calling it EA? At E3, will you, I'm just screwed up on all words tonight. What third-party company at E3 will have the best show between EA, Bethesda, or Ubisoft? Hello, EA, they got Titanfall 2.
You know what? I
Yeah.
really want
That's
to
a
pick
dedicated show. That's different.
I want to say that too, but Bethesda is
Bethesda, man. Like, oh.
dropping some fucking heat.
Yeah, I'm with Brutal on this one, man. If everything comes out that's like leaked or whatever is going to be true, man, they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with EA.
Like
Yeah,
Bethesda,
I'm with
Bethesda's like
SheWolf.
They
extra.
got Battlefield, and they got friggin' Titanfall, and there could still be more. So I'm all them. Sorry.
Ah, cool. What about Bear or AsthMattic or?
EA. I like Battlefield a lot.
Sweet.
Big Battlefield fan.
Yeah. I feel like I said before, there could be a lot of stuff that Ubisoft hasn't announced yet. So I think that's kind of the one that I'm holding out for right now. Like, honestly, I'm most excited for the Microsoft one, but this question's about third party, so I'm gonna say Ubisoft.
Yeah, I want to pick that one too because everybody knows on every podcast I say I want to see Splinter Cell on Microsoft stage, like every single podcast. So
The only thing that always like
on the
bogs down.
same channel as UGKB.
The only thing that ever bogs down EA is they always have this thing where they're like, hey, you guys want to see some sports titles
Yeah,
for
for
20
sure.
minutes? And like, no. Like, don't get me wrong, like,
But
FIFA
I don't
has an
think
audience
this year's
and-
going to be like that, though. I think with the games that they have coming,
I still think they're going to show
hard.
sports though.
Well, there's of course they have to. That is kind of EA, but
Yeah, I
Still
think the
be in
stars
there,
are going to be
but-
Titanfall and
Right.
Battlefield 1
Look,
for sure.
Right, no, they always just kind of toss them in at the end, and like wasn't it last year where they had Pele? It was like
yeah.
2 years ago.
No, it was
And
last year.
It was like, it was cool to see them, but like, guys, like this is tonally like trust me, the people who watch, the EA press conference probably aren't the people who casually play FIFA. Like I don't know, it's always a little bit weird.
Well, I think that if EA is gonna like make any type of like big noise about their sports titles, like when they can get past the licensing crap that they were dealing with the NCAA, like if they can bring back NCAA football, I think that would make a considerable splash compared to like, oh, check out our new Madden or check out our new FIFA. Like a lot of people want college football to come back to EA.
Right.
So
Well, I'm kind of
And what we
interested,
said
like with.
earlier in the show. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I'm kind of interested, to be honest with you, to see some of these sports games in like Frostbite and see if it changes any. But if it's still the same old, Madden, I won't be excited about it at all, honestly.
That's like exactly what I was gonna say. Like, if it's gonna be like a night and day, I mean, I don't expect
Yeah.
that, but if it's gonna be a noticeable difference
Yeah.
between last year's version and this year's version, absolutely show it. But it's just like every time I see FIFA, for example, I was like, yeah, that looks like last year's version. Like, it's good, but it's last year's version just a little shinier. So as long as they can make big improvements this year, then I don't mind watching a 6-minute awkward demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want them to bring like a sports game where it's like Duck Hunter, where you can start shooting like deers and ducks and stuff. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be a
They'll show
VR
it.
title for sure.
I'd be down on that for VR for sure. Yeah.
What other questions we got, Shewu?
All right, so we have Mr. Solo Dolo.
Yo, he was in
What up, Solo?
He
Yeah.
dropped in. He was in game night.
Yeah, he
on
was.
Saturday.
Yeah, he was. All right, so his question is, if you could take over a gaming franchise and put your own twist on it, what would it be? Shout out to xBot448. He asked this to his panel, and I thought it would be cool.
That is a cool question for sure. And I got a bone to pick with you, Solo. You shot me in the face too many damn times in that community game night. I don't know who wants to answer that one.
So it's what mechanic would you take from another game and put into a different game?
I think it's what franchise you would take over.
No.
Oh.
And put your twist on it.
Oh, okay. I would take Battlefield and add, I love the Gears of War's active reload, and I think that should be in every game franchise. So, a Battlefield game where, you have to, nail some active reloads would be sweet. I don't know. I'd get down with that.
That's a great answer.
That is pretty interesting.
That's awesome.
I dig that, yeah.
Because that's the one thing that gaming, and maybe VR has the opportunity to make this better, but that's the one thing in first-person shooters that you just can't match realism with.
I would take over
you can never get that.
I would take over Call of Duty and take those motherfuckers out of space and bring them back to fucking Earth. That's what I would do.
The first mission is just a dream, and then he wakes up, and then it's just
he's back on boots on
It's
ground.
like, oh
yeah.
shit.
The first level is just the trailer, and then he's like, oh, whoa, man, really glad that was all fake.
He's like, yeah, damn, that was
Let's go do a sweet game.
Man, for me, maybe taking the Dead Space franchise and doing maybe some nice cover-based stuff from Gears or something. Throw that in there. That'd be kind of cool.
I could dig that. I want to see a Dead Space movie. Just to throw that out there.
That would translate so well into a movie for sure. Anybody else? Or we want to move on?
I don't think I would want to take over a franchise. Just seems like too much hassle.
Take over a dying franchise would be a hassle, but
I would just,
reap the benefits of somebody else's work.
If I could make a game, I would just want something original, something that people haven't thought of, something unique. I'm gonna end up going back to Alice Madness Returns. It was a game that was so different and so unique to its own. And truthfully, I think it is kind of one of a kind game. And hell, it still sells for almost $30.
I'd like to see a sequel of that. Actually, that'd be really
yes.
awesome.
Well, the actual guy has a
Yeah, I
petition
know.
out trying to make an actual sequel. So, yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we have All-Star Gamer says, why do people think Capcom rumor is about Dead Rising 4 when Capcom has a lot of properties? We all know it could be a DMC5 instead of DR4. Is there something in the rumor that says DR4?
Screenshots?
Yeah, haven't they already?
All of the screenshots.
Yeah, that's for sure Dead Rising.
Yeah, they've already.
No, that's not to be Capcom isn't going to release anything else, but I think as far as that rumor is concerned, yeah, it's definitely Dead Rising 4 for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, as soon as they showed, I saw a screenshot of the protagonist riding a child's trike, and I was like, "Yep, that's Dead Rising 4."
For sure.
Yep, that'll be it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, Capcom has some great IPs, but and they'll probably release new ones soon. But as far as that rumor is concerned, yeah, it's definitely Dead Rising for sure.
Yeah.
Next question.
I'd laugh my ass off if you guys are all just completely wrong and it ends up being
that
a
could
different
happen
game.
completely. This, we're no insiders. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
I know. It'd just be funny. Anyways, so Black Tiger says, do you think Microsoft will give us... Wait, what? Do you think Microsoft will give us at E3 the family share feature or the digital trade in No.
Nope.
I wish. Yeah. Too
much licensing and too much.
Without the DRM that they wanted originally, that would check to make sure you weren't abusing it. No, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Now, my dream is that they bring back the ability to do family share, but with that comes the caveat of opt-in. You can choose to opt in for that feature, but that means you do have to have the DRM checks.
My thing is too
Yeah.
how what is blah, 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 what's info whatever. What does the devs get out of it? They don't get anything out of giving more people to play their game. Nobody else is gonna buy it. They'll buy one copy and 4 or 5 people can use it. That's losing revenue to them. That doesn't really make a whole lot of business sense.
Steam does it though. At least several titles on Steam. You can. I'm not sure. As far as I know, I don't think you can simultaneously play. I think it's one of those things where it's you buy a game and you can let me play it, but the second you want to play it, it kicks me out. Again, yeah, I totally understand. Like, I'm sure developers and publishers aren't thrilled about it, but I'm fairly certain all, if not maybe just some, games on Steam support the feature. Yeah, I don't know. It gets done.
I definitely am tongue-tied. I couldn't say that word for nothing.
Crab Gamer, when do you plan to buy Overwatch? Never, god damn it, they need to drop the price.
Let's ask BrewtalKnight about that one.
Yeah, Mr. Brutal, when did you plan to actually tell everyone that you had bought Overwatch?
I tweeted that shit, and I called Mooch out too. I was like, some people can't win that shit, so I went ahead and bought it for the full 60. I will wear it loud and proud. I like the game. Like, come on. Like, you can't hate on me just for enjoying a game.
Overwatch.
You know,
truthfully, I want to add in that Battleborn was not even out a whole entire month, and it dropped down to $38. Now, I know everyone keeps telling me that, well, Overwatch is Blizzard and so on. Okay, I understand that. But if Blizzard is seeing that numbers are starting to drop, do you not think that they will put it in their mind to lower the price to actually get in the rest of the gamers?
Oh, they will.
You have to look at that from two different sides.
Look at what they've done with like WoW. WoW's numbers have been plummeting, and you can get the entire series of World of Warcraft games for free, basically. I mean, granted, you have to pay your monthly subscription still, but you get what, 5 expansions now?
Something like that.
So here's the thing: the response of Battleborn going cheap isn't a result of let's be competitive with Overwatch. I mean, it is, but it's mostly a reflection of the sales. But
I wasn't comparing it to Overwatch. I wasn't trying to say that they were competing. I'm just saying this game just came out a month ago. This is the only reason I used this game was because it released less than a month ago at the time when it dropped in price.
Okay.
So I was saying because that one was just a multiplayer game, who's to say that Overwatch isn't next?
So the difference is that last weekend on Steam during peak hours, Battleborn had 800 players. That's pretty bad. In the first week of Overwatch, they sold 7 million copies. For better or worse, Blizzard has just kind of
but that's
somehow been able to
PC. Can you tell me what the actual things are for console?
I mean, no, they don't release
numbers.
data like that. That's not. It doesn't work like that.
Well, see, I
But
understand.
point being,
but you can't compare.
I'm sure it's probably better on console, but point being, look, when you look at your friends list, I think that most of us can agree that the game that's hot right now, regardless of if you agree with the standpoint, is Overwatch. It's the multiplayer game a lot of people are spending their time with. I think that for whatever reason, despite there probably being more content within Battleborn, I think that they've been able to convince people that for whatever reason, I'm not sure why Overwatch has been more successful. It has less content, but apparently the gameplay just is more appealing to people. I don't have any answers besides the sales are clearly not there, or the player base is clearly not there to support Battleborn like it is on Overwatch.
Like, Overwatch feels fresh.
I mean, I don't know what else to say besides that.
Like, Battleborn nosedive. Like, if you put Battleborn next to Overwatch, I know that's not what you're comparing SheWolf, but like, I don't know if I just because I like the game or not, but like Overwatch just feels when I play it just feels fresh and like it's very clean playing game. So I mean, I don't know. I enjoy the gameplay of Overwatch. So.
But $60 worth of gameplay?
Heck yes, all $60, bro.
That's what it gets for me. Like, there's no extra like 4 modes, 21 characters. That, let's be honest, most people don't play them all. You play like 4 or 5 of your favorites. Like,
if that,
there's just not the content to justify the $60 cost. That's my whole biggest thing. I'm not saying it's not a good game. I think it's a great game. I enjoyed the beta, but $60, come on, man, for like. Just a multiplayer only that doesn't take the same amount of time to develop for than a regular game.
And yes, okay, I can. Well, it's just some people are saying, well, it's got free content. Okay,
so does Halo 5.
But
does Halo 5 with a single player and everything else.
And you still can't tell me that. Who's to say the free content isn't just going to be like one single map or like exactly what it is. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that it's going to be that wow factor. Or how many months in between are you going to get this free content? Again, I compared this game back to freaking Witcher 3 and to Halo 5, which gives you all free content majority of the time. Like, yes, there's expansions for Witcher 3, but they still had a whole bunch of free content and whatnot. And they're giving you expansions that are 30 hours long. And you paid $60 for this game. So tell me where the $60 is worth for Overwatch. Especially coming from a high name brand like Blizzard that could have gave you a campaign with the story and everything that they have built on this game. There's so much lore. So
I agree
it's just not worth it.
They could have. I'm just saying, like, my personal preference, like, after playing the beta, like, I enjoyed it thoroughly to where, like, I didn't mind spending the $60. Like, I'm not trying to defend that they need to charge $60 as much as I'm saying that I'm willing to pay $60 because I personally enjoyed it. So, like, I mean, there's some of those things, like, you just have that niche, like, not necessarily niche, but just that you get a game that just strikes you that you like that some other people may not like. So regardless of whether or not it's worth $60 to the main...
I truly liked the game, though.
To me,
I really liked it.
It's just worth it to me. Like, I was willing to pay $60 to keep playing it. And
that's fair. I mean, that's fine.
And building off of that, look, I'm not trying to say that when I make this comparison, people are going to jump to the defense of the game. But listen,
here it comes.
Quantum Break, I paid $60 for, and I got 8 hours of entertainment.
Hey,
and
Quantum Break is a mistake.
And I paid $60 for Overwatch, and I've got like 30 hours. And like, again, you could make the argument of, it's a single-player game, there's narrative, and like, yeah, the narrative is good, but I think it's very, very difficult to make the argument of, when you debate this content argument, $60 is different to every single consumer, and it's very hard to say, well, but Witcher has so much content. It's like, well, yeah, it's a single-player game. It's just kind of an apples and oranges comparison in my opinion.
That's what defines it. It's that this whole thing where people say this game's worth the money, this game isn't. That's strictly a paper argument. And exactly, Bearclaw, you're comparing apples to oranges. That the Overwatch isn't a game defined by how much content there is, how many different levels there are, how often DLC.
Well, that's not really fair then, because games like Titanfall and other games that are single multiplayer was knocked for just being that, and then this game gets tens.
They were knocked because
but that's because Overwatch does it right. Overwatch is the first game.
But that's not what they were saying. They didn't say, "Hey, we built this game correctly multiplayer." No, they said it was missing content. That's not building it right.
I will say tens. I will say that I don't think it's a 10, and I'll go on record for every game that I ever play probably will never deserve a 10 because the rating system's objective to whoever's playing it. So I mean, and whoever's rating it. So,
and that's a fair argument. I'm just saying, like, we can't be. I'm just saying, like, you can't say like it was done right because, like, again, that's objective. Like, how can you say that? Like, when you rip on one game for a review because they say it lacks content, the multiplayer is good, but then they say this multiplayer is good, it lacks content, but we're still going to give it a 10. That's inherently wrong. That's just not a good argument.
Agree with you on that for sure.
It's the first game I've played in years where I can play alone, and it's still fun. And then when you play with friends, it gets even more fun. And it's the first game in a long time that you can play and get totally annihilated in multiplayer. Like, there are some games where it's like when you're just getting destroyed, the game ceases to be fun at all, and it's a controller against the wall. But this is a game that I can get destroyed, and I still have a huge smile on my face. It just...
I think that one comes to own preference then, because I played that game by myself for hours, and I was bored as fuck out of it.
But I want to preface too, like, I think this game is a fantastic game. Like, Overwatch is a great game. I'm just like, there's just some weird stuff that's going on that I can't get behind, so I won't do it. And like giving it 10s when other games of the same thing got like 8s or whatever, not cool. And charging $60 for that game is just not cool either. And I didn't like it for Titanfall either, but technically I didn't buy that. So
it's also very hard to have this like, whoa, but what about the content? And like, you're right. I mean, like, content matters, but I think that the moment to moment, and SheWolf, you talk about, you were bored when you played by yourself, and that's absolutely fine. Games are subjective. That's how it goes.
Well, that's why I said it all depends. Like, that's own preference, because it all comes down to if you can enjoy that, then fine, all the power to you. But it doesn't mean other people are going to have fun playing this game by themselves.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and that's my point. Is $60 boils down to your moment-to-moment enjoyment of the game. So when they had this beta, it gave a lot of people an opportunity to play the game and evaluate. Does the $60 price point on console, 40 on PC, does that price point make sense for me personally? I mean, we can have the conversation till we're blue in the face about, is it worth $60? But ultimately, it becomes, what does $60 mean to you specifically? It's really not worth arguing over, you're wrong or I'm right.
This is definitely not bad for
is
sure.
up to the individual. Yep.
No, I think it was a fantastic debate. Like, you all had great points. We all had great points. I think it was fantastic. Any other questions?
I think it's like 9:17, and I think it's time to
Oh, you're ruining the fun right now. Come on.
I don't really
Sorry,
care.
Mom.
I
That was
am
awesome,
a mother,
AsthMattic.
thank you.
That was awesome.
I am, and I will put everybody to bed.
All right, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it. SheWolf's called it. Like, she don't want to talk anymore. She's not having any fun. So we're
Well,
gonna
if you want to go till 10 o'clock, be my guest.
Nah, that's fine. It was a great show. I love talking games. We have a great panel tonight. Shout out to everyone jamming out with us tonight. Like, I think we hit almost 100. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, man.
We really appreciate you guys coming out. It's fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed that last little debate there. I think that was fantastic. It was great fun.
That blood flowing.
Yeah, I know.
Boiling.
Everybody had great points. It was fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody, shout out what they got going on. We're gonna go ahead and start with Bear.
Yeah, again, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out. It's super great that everyone was here. If you're not already, you can find me on Twitter. Also, I run a blog where I write news and reviews several times a week at bearclawgaming.com. I'd love for you to come out and check out what I do. Always looking for feedback, positive or negative. Again, have a great rest of the week, everybody.
And Brutal.
Yeah, man. Real quick, I've checked out a lot of Bear's his blog. It's really good quality content, so you guys should definitely go check that out.
Thanks, man.
I gotta give another shout out as always to Jay Williams, Graphic God on Twitter for the logos and artwork. Dude's amazing. I'm really happy to be back on the show again for the second week in a row. I really enjoy it. You can check me out at Twitter, BrewtalKnight. You can also hit me up on Xbox Live at BrewtalKnight as well. And I know I said this last week, but YouTube is still in the works. So just SheWolf and GKB, please just don't. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, no problem. What about you, SheWolf? What you got going on? You dropped a video today.
I did. Yeah, E3. Check it out if you want. Whatever. It's on here. Gamers Knows Best.
I thought I was talking to Zazz there for a second. What's going on?
Yeah. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox Live. Community game nights are Saturdays, so make sure you check that out. I also shout out all the podcasts every day, so look for that on my Twitter if you want to keep up to date on everything. So yeah, that's about it.
Fox, what you got going on? When you dropping some videos? When you doing some cool stuff?
I did a video yesterday and today, and the one for today is also about E3, and I did like a wish list kind of thing, so check that out on here, Lady Foxfire, and on Twitter and other places as Lady Foxfire as well. Thank you for always inviting me on here. This is my 4th week in a row, so that's awesome.
Ooh.
You guys are too nice to me. I'm just saying.
Don't let her fool you. She like tried to beat me up in the alley and stuff. So I had to get her back on the show.
Hey, shut up. You're not supposed to talk about that.
With a switch. We had an agreement. Listen here, Shay.
AsthMattic, it's great for you to be on the show again, brother. I hope you come on a lot more.
Heck yeah, and I will be now.
I know you got some E3 stuff going on, so.
Yeah, I'm done with school for the next, I'm taking a summer course, but that's Monday, Wednesday, so I will be able to be full-time console corner for the next couple months until, like, September, so I'm super excited about that, get to hang out with you guys every week. As far as my personal channel goes, I'm going to be doing a bunch of E3 content next week. I live here in Southern California, so I will be attending FanFest on Saturday. I feel pretty good about my ability to actually get in with FanFest, so I should be able to be at the Microsoft press conference. However, I'll be there as like sort of a guest of Microsoft, not as a YouTuber, so I won't be able to be like recording in there or anything like that. But obviously, I'll be doing a video Monday night. Hopefully, I can get it up as early as possible after the press conference, just talking about everything that they revealed, whatever is going on in their press conference, and whatever else they've got going on afterwards. And again, we don't know everything that FanFest is going to involve. So if there's anything else that I get to take part in as a part of FanFest, I will be bringing you guys all of the information on that straight to my YouTube channel, which is just AsthMattic right here on YouTube. So I am beyond excited for what's going on at E3, and I'm super excited to have this amazing panel of people right beside me as we go and discover it all and bring it to you guys.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Awesome.
I want to thank everybody on the panel too. These guys, all these great people are fantastic. Please go sub, check out whatever they're doing, man. They're fantastic people. I'm GKB, Gamers Knows Best on Twitter and on YouTube. I want to shout out Jay, Williams, Tom. You guys do fantastic. Diego also does fantastic like artwork for everyone in the community. Please come check us out this Saturday for Titanfall, the community game time. It was so much fun last week. We had a ton of fun, so come rock out with us.
We'll also be on Xbox Nation tomorrow with
Thanks
Crap
for
Gamer.
cutting me off there, SheWolf. Man.
You said so I assumed you were done.
No, I was just trying to figure out what I want to say. But yeah, we'll be on
Exactly.
Xbox Nation, be on the Shop Podcast, and then back on the Console Corner. Please check out all the rest of our cool Xbox community podcasts too, like TXR, Four Guys with Quarters, Xbox Next, one. BGST. Everybody's doing some awesome stuff. Love you guys. Anybody else want to say anything before we get out?
Thanks for everybody who's following us, and you guys are awesome.
Yeah, everybody's awesome.
Also, keep an eye out. I'll leave everyone's links below in the description.
Thank you, SheWolf.
And take care of your fellow gamers.